motherfucker Mark said he on one right now. Tell me about it. You know it. You know it. I like the idea of that shit. Man, I see all y'all boys, man, with y'all cool overlays and shit like that. And I see all y'all dudes with y'all cool fonts and stuff like that. Y'all motherfuckers bought that StreamYard membership, huh? I got to do it. I gotta have my old Reaper Gang logos and shit up there too. I want to be like y'all, man. Why not? Five. We're in here. We back at it. We back. Tony Lyons, my guy, what it do? Smoke though. Oh yeah, we about to smoke too. We about to smoke once again. I got the mini buds. It's gonna be a whole lot of recovery today. Boom bats. Hey, Jedi, so tell me about this legendary song, man. Links in the chat, man. Links in the chat. Investing in the program. Yeah, man. And I like that. I like to see all my brothers investing in the program. And honestly, StreamYard is the wave right now. Especially for what we do, StreamYard is where it's at. Man, I just been chilling, man. Taking it light, man. So we finally about to get back to nice weather. Had a nice Easter yesterday. Just usual shit, man. Usual shit. Let's see what we got here. Yo, ain't there a way you could throw that shit in the thing and I can play it? I know there's a way I could play that shit. Oh, as soon as I came in, I put it in, but let me throw it in here again. There you go. You want to see it? There you go. Hit the share screen.
How's it going, man?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm great, man. Hold up. Let me get the right avatar for this. Hold up. We gotta come correct when we up here, you know?
Yeah. At all times.
I love that avatar.
Yo, that shit, I swear to God, I was dying, bro. I ain't seen no shit like that. I said, yo, that shit look, and the crazy thing is, it looked like him though.
I know, right?
That shit looked like Tank.
You see, Tank, when they do you remember the poster they put up of Leo and Tank and how they made Tank look fat as hell?
Yeah.
Remember that? So he said, yo, somebody fix my face in this damn thing, yeah? So I said, I got you, bro, and responded to him, and I got like 1,000 retweets and 1,200 likes with the fat Joe thing.
Yo, that shit looks freaky, bro.
Oh, that shit right there knocked me out my seat. That's some funny shit.
This shit look crazy, Mark.
The funny thing about that though is like Two Hands hadn't seen it, and I had that shit up since the Leo Santa Cruz fight.
Damn time on your hands.
Yeah, man. I ain't never on fucking Twitter really. And when I do go on Twitter, I just post a retweet real quick and I just leave. I don't check my likes or none of that shit.
Yeah, you got some echo down there, Pitbull. Whoa.
Yeah, that's
you're gonna need to mute him, man.
He might hear. Woo. Gotti, fix that echo real quick, Brody, and then unmute yourself. Yeah, that joint was like, I felt like Like my brain was doing some weird shit right there. I just smoked too. That shit was like I just kept hearing like an echo of myself over and over and over.
Yo,
Oh
yo,
shit.
yo, two hands. Can you hear this? Hold on for a second. Can you hear this right quick? Can you
It's
hear
very
that?
low.
All right, hold on,
Very
hold on.
low.
All right, how about now? How about now?
I'm saying. Errol Spencer's the
Yeah, I
truth.
hear it.
All right. This is the Spence fan song, all right? Yeah, niggas might laugh, but these are just for the fanatics. They don't go to you, D. You're not a fanatic. You know what I'm saying? This goes to the fanatics, the niggas that come up on our lives talking about Errol Spencer's the best. He's the greatest of all time. He's the best welterweight champion ever. All right.
For real, yo. Go Hall of Fame, all that. You know damn well Terrence Crawford's the one who smoke. What? Fuck is wrong with these Spence fans?
Yeah.
Supposed to be your motherfucking man, but instead you got the fucking pom-pom in your hand. Fuck is wrong with these Spence fans? Supposed to be a fucking man, but instead you got the fucking pom-pom in your hand.
Stop waving, niggas. Yeah, man. That's what it is, man. It's the whole song. It's fucking hilarious, dog. If you know what I'm saying, if you want me to play the whole thing with permission, I will. If not, it's on my channel, kid. Just go to the Baba Yaga Slings playlist where I slay almost every motherfucker body in YTBC. And just look for this.
I was loving the music on that, bro. I was actually out here fucking dancing.
Yeah, that shit had like a little Sade, like a Sade kind of vibe.
That was
man.
like that late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, man, beautiful guitar strumming like Santana.
It even had a bit of a Craig David feel for anyone who's up on the UK music.
Oh shit!
No doubt, kid. Well, it's true though, man. We get a lot of these dudes, bro.
These niggas out here, they sweat. Some dude that just got in, try to say that he just fit in. Fuck is going on with you? Y'all niggas skipping for a month. Bleed. The niggas better put that shit on the league. Fuck is wrong with these Spence fans?
Fuck is wrong with you?
Just in that joint, in that joint with a big old fuck is wrong with you, man. There you go.
Yeah.
I actually fucking dig it, bro.
Yeah, it ride out real smooth, man. It's like a real smooth fuck you, man.
Yeah, word up.
Yeah, it works.
Ready this one? Ready for this one? This is the second verse that's gonna kill all these niggas.
Try to meet them at a debate, and all they do is bring that bullshit talk about Keith scraping plates. He's Superman.
He's Superman.
He's my fucking man.
He my fucking man.
Nigga, you
Oh, shit.
Ain't no gay, but you say nothing. But I'm gonna tell you something. You are a motherfucking jockstrap.
A jockstrap.
A Spence, yeah.
Yeah. Fuck is wrong with these dudes?
Trying to be all rude, but these motherfuckers out here sucking them off until they turn.
God.
Somebody got some animosity towards the Spence fans.
Yeah, man. Yeah, the motherfucking them extreme Spence fans. I can understand the Spence fans that are cool. You know what I'm saying? Like UD, you know, when you know he fuck up, you get on him. Other guys that I know, but not the ones that don't want to actually come out and say, yo, he fucked up. You know?
Hey, yo, look, bro, I'll be straightforward. I like watching Errol Spence fight. But I feel like I do. I enjoy watching them fight. Just like I love. There's a lot of fighters I love watching. But like at the same point, the extreme fans, bro. Yo, man, you could have gone real in on that shit, bro. I'm literally gonna write like a Celtic ballad and get Spuddy to sing it later today for that shit.
Oh my god, the shit motherfuckers be creating.
And then I'm working on a song on a classical opera song. Like I'm actually gonna go opera on you niggas, and it's gonna be called.
Oh my god!
It's gonna be called Sofia Compartira. You know what I'm saying? It goes so.
Yo, bro, if you want, Kodo, I'll sing on that shit for you.
No doubt, bro. Compartira. Fury took over. No, I'm telling you.
Then you get the lift in, bro, and you just go like,
get that heat.
What? You think I well, no, you
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm gonna get busy on these niggas, bro. They deserve hit songs. All these dudes deserve.
Carter, you fucking stupid.
Go ahead, run that. Go ahead, run that feature back bomb one more time, Jedi.
That Spence fan shit.
Go ahead, run that Spence joint back.
What's wrong with Spence fans? Yo, that's gonna be stuck in my head all day.
That's what it is, kid. Every time one of them motherfuckers come with that yo, Spencer's the G, he's the greatest ever. Oh, he better than Sugar Ray Leonard. You gotta be like, fuck is wrong with fans.
The motherfucker ain't better than Bud Crawford. How the fuck he gonna be better than an all-time great?
Word. Yo, Spencer's the truth. You real, yo.
Hit him with a J.
You know damn well Terrence Crawford's the one on smoke. What?
Oh Lord.
Fans. But instead, you got the pom-pom in your hand. Fuck is wrong with against fans?
Fuck is wrong with you?
Oh shit.
That shit gonna take me out because I wasn't ready, man. I wasn't ready at all.
Yeah,
that's too funny.
That shit is hilarious, man.
Tried to say that he just fit in.
You know, in every good joke, there's some truth to it.
But hey, look how Tank Davis sitting in the top right corner listening to the shit though. Like I feel like
yeah, Tank Davis just leaning back, Brett. Leave him alone.
I feel like that picture is like really engaged to the song on the joint right now.
That's the cover art for the album.
Yeah, man. It's just like we doing a whole promo right now, man.
Fuck is wrong with you?
No doubt, them niggas is never late. Try to meet a matter
Oh
debate.
man.
And all you do is bring that bullshit talk about he's scraping plates.
He ain't scraping plates. He my Superman.
Oh my God.
Man,
He my fucking man.
nigga, you buddy.
Them ad libs be taking me out, man. These are fucking ad libs.
Spence, yeah. Say it ain't so.
Uh-oh.
Fuck is wrong with these dudes?
Woo.
Trying to be all rude. But these motherfuckers out here sucking them off.
Till it turn dry like a prune.
Oh my God. All right, so yo, look. We
go, baby.
Oh no.
Oh my God, man. So apparently, what the fuck is wrong with the Spence fan? I don't know.
Carter, I'm gonna go onto your thing. I'm gonna get that exact beat, yeah? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a response with the same fucking melody, bro. Because that's fucking funny.
That's gonna be hilarious. A Spence fan's response, right? He'll be like, fuck is wrong with these straight dudes? Right? That'll be the response.
Coming up asking me for nudes. Yeah, I got you.
That shit like really remind me of that fucking that Dave Chappelle episode where he's like with a nigga from the real world singing and shit. He's like sweet-a doo-dee-da boo-da.
I remember that shit. Yo.
He's like, come on, bitch, be my baby.
Be my baby, bitch. Now, yo, I thought I was the only one that used to trip hard on that, dog. That shit is hilarious.
Oh man, that shit was my shit. He's like, take me there. Take me there. He's like, you're riding, bitch. Be my baby.
Be my baby.
That song's fucking fire, bro. That stuck in my head.
No, that shit hilarious.
I'm just trying to figure out what the hell Spence has done to earn all this fucking fandom and all this fake recognition.
Well, a lot of it started with the media before it even got to the new media. Because don't forget, this motherfucker had one win. One win. He went away from home. He beat Kell Brook, coming off of a loss, right? Coming down 2-8.
Yeah.
Right? I want people to think about this. He beat him in that situation. They put him at Ring Magazine. They put him number 8 on the pound for pound list. Think about it.
Oh my God.
Meanwhile, they didn't have Estrada on the list yet. They knocked Chocolatito off, and Rungvisai was there at number 9. But they had Spence above Rungvisai, who beat Chocolatito twice. Really?
Fuck is wrong? Spence fans.
That's an agenda push. They pushing the man. They pushing the agenda with that shit because, like, I feel like I said this shit the other day, Mark. I was like, yo, I'm like, why is it even a conversation that fucking Errol Spence better than Terrence Crawford? If y'all think motherfucking Terrence Crawford is pound for pound number 1, what is the conversation? I don't even get it. Because if he's pound for pound,
conversation is purely at welterweight. Purely at welterweight.
Even yet and still, I'm just like, look, who he fight? Kell Brook, Mikey Garcia, Danny Garcia,
Porter. But then
it's the Porter win that's carrying about welter.
No. But then what the bunks all that is okay. What have they done for the sport lately? I'm talking about his motherfucking opposition. Let's look at what Porter has done. Nothing. Let's look at what other guys have done. Actually, really nothing. Right. So it's like if Crawford's coming from nothing, like every other guy is saying, right? Not us, but those guys. Then we have to say that Errol Spence Jr. is coming from nothing as well and holding these titles. And look at the agenda on how they got Ugas ready to say, here, take it, right?
Because Ugas coming off, still don't get it.
Yeah, Ugas is an elevated champion with a win over Abel Ramos.
Because for me, the way I look at Spence, I just try to look at it with the clearest lenses I possibly can. I'm just like, yo, the motherfucker has not proven to me why he's even a considerable threat. Like, I don't even know why motherfuckers got him so high on the pound for pound. I don't know like what makes this 1A, 1B conversation with Crawford, somebody who's accomplishing, you know what I'm saying, multiple divisions. It's like, really, what does Errol Spence accomplish to put him so high? It's like, what about his threat? What about his attack? It's so devastating.
Nothing.
People is so like,
nothing, well, don't forget, it goes beyond board. Like, I want you to think about this. These motherfuckers, two hands. Even though you don't go onto Twitter much, you seen this. They were saying he's a bigger draw than Canelo.
They lost their fucking mind.
Yo, can you say that one more time, my brother? They lost.
They literally. They were saying that.
They
were saying he's a bigger draw than Canelo. The same Canelo who did 50,000 pre-sale seats in Texas.
I want to smoke some of that shit they smoking on.
I think that's called the everything.
That shit just make me want to smoke. Matter of fact, where my
weed?
Hey guys,
I'm trying to get on that level.
I know
that's crazy.
I know only master
I just found a mini bud on the ground.
I know I'm not the only master Jedi on here on this. Like, come on, guys, come on.
I'm smoking that shit.
Gang, come on, where you at? Get it? Yeah, that's what I'm talking
about.
Right.
I want to look. This the thing, and I don't want people to get it twisted. And it's the same shit I say about Canelo. It's the same shit I say about anybody that I critique. I want to like these dudes, and I want to motherfucking not. I want to be able to just put them in the realm where, you know, everything is all good. But it's just certain shit that I just can't get away from. No. So I'm just going to critique them in the areas where I feel like it's valid. Other than that, I don't have a problem with dude. It's just like, yo, if you say shit, I'm gonna hold you accountable for it. If you're not doing certain shit, I'm going to hold you accountable for it. That's all. It ain't like I don't like dude. I think dude's not a bad person, man. I just think that he just not presenting himself too great in boxing right now. Like, don't beat Danny Garcia and Bud out there. You could have unified. Don't say that shit after you beat Danny Garcia, that make you a pound for pound fighter in the welterweight division.
Yeah,
and Manny Pacquiao when Bud was still there.
That's just ridiculous, man. It's
Carlos, what it do?
That's just my whole thing. What's up, Carlos? You know, that's just my whole thing. Like, these guys, they want to be great. They want to wear the outfit of being great. They want to be, you know, they want to call themselves great, but they don't want to go through the motions of being great, dog. Like, come on, man. Everybody's taking that word great loosely. Oh, he's great. Oh, this fight is a great fight. Oh, man, there's a difference between great fights and mediocre fights and good fights.
You have people out here calling mini Fat Joe fucking like great and shit.
Bro, they're already calling him Tyson. Are you stupid, bro? Like, bro, not even Tyson agrees with that. Yeah, they're like, oh, he's Tyson-esque. No,
man,
bro, yeah, go ahead, brother.
He's a fucking water, but he is.
Like most of the greats, if I'm being real, that are currently lurking in boxing today, outside of the ones who are closer to retirement, like Manny and shit,
Yeah.
they're in the lower weight divisions. Guys like Nonito, Choco, all those guys, they're greats. Like Nonito is a great. He's a great.
The guys that were totally looked over while the serial face box fighters were being pushed. You know what I mean? And this is why I don't respect Guillermo Rigondeaux, because he, remember, he was like, we looked at him like, wow, he's one of those elites. He's like, I know, Lito Donaire, or and the same thing with the Axeman, right? And what happened? These motherfuckers went on sabbatical, came back, niggas grew feathers, and became all of a sudden prize fighters, right? But Guillermo Rigondeaux, yo quiero más dineros. I'm gonna leave. Bob Adam, and what happened? My man got hooked over to what used to be called Rock Nation, right? And then after that, he got pushed to finally Uncle Al, right? And then what happened? They shelved his ass. So it's like he got what he deserved, because he had a good following. And if I'm lying, somebody please call me out. When he was with Top Rank, and I'm talking about Guillermo Rigondeaux, he had a beautiful following, being an undercard fighter for Manny Pacquiao's fucking pay-per-views in Macau, China. Niggas loved him. Matter of fact, that's when he was really recognized, when he would fight in Macau, China, under Manny Pacquiao's undercards. Everybody was like, oh, Guillermo Rigondeaux, oh, Rigondeaux, oh, Rigondeaux. Now all of a sudden, the Jackal. Now all of a sudden, what happened? Jackal fucked himself over. He should have stood where he belonged. You know what I'm saying? He would have probably been almost at a half a career to where half a careers, or maybe a third of career of Manny Pacquiao's fucking fandom, because he was gaining. Like, people knew him as, oh shit, that's Manny Pacquiao's undercard fighter.
You're right though, because after he fought Lomachenko and lost, he fell off, just completely fell the fuck off.
Yes, sir.
Now he's
he got exposed.
Apparently, he's fighting against Rigo. Rigo's fighting Casemiro. Sorry, Rigo and Casemiro are going to be fighting, because the PBC are now getting into the lower weight divisions, fellas, right? And people don't realize it, and they're doing what they're doing at welterweight, so they're getting a monopoly of certain guys picking up some belts and keeping everything away from the best fighters in the division. Watch 122. Fulton's got the WBO belt. Neary with the WBC. They've got 6 of the top 10 all over there with Brandon Figueroa, etc. Ray Vargas moving up to 126. You know that means Gary Russell going to be fighting Ray Vargas. He ain't going to be going out there and fighting anybody.
I think they already announced that, didn't they?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. And then, like, at 118, keep in mind they've taken Casemiro over. Casemiro was making a fight against the new way. We all know at 118 and new way is that dude, right? We know he's the man at 118. But they've moved Rigondeaux down into the weight division. They moved Neary up. What they ended up doing was they got Nardino, Obali, and Daenerys all going over onto the PBC, keeping Casemiro over there as well, which means that they've frozen out a new way from unifying to become a first lineal champion in that division for over 40 years, because a new way signed with Top Rank. And they started to do all of that shit directly after a new way went to Top Rank. Like, a lot of people are talking about the belts and it being a specific fighter. This is Al's war on Bob Arum. That's what this is. Al's war on Bob Arum. And it's obvious as fuck if you look at it.
Yep, but he's gonna lose.
Don't you think, Mark? Don't you think that shit gonna make Al? Isn't that shit contributing to Al Heyman's own downfall, though? In a sense, wouldn't you agree?
I do think it's contributing to his own downfall in my eyes, in your eyes, and in the dog's eyes down the bottom. I don't know who you are, fella. What's your name down there, bottom right?
Gotti.
Gotti. Yeah. And Coda, like, in our eyes, that's gonna be his downfall. But in the eyes of the Spence fans, that man can do no wrong. Kodo wrote a song on it, fam.
Fuck is wrong with you, Spence fans? Supposed to be a
Heyman in to hold their hands. God bless you, we know Al.
What the fuck is wrong with him?
Fuck is wrong with you?
Wrong with him?
Yo, that shit. It just that right there to make you ask yourself, what the fuck is wrong with him, man?
Word up, man. It's on some shit, bro. Fuck is wrong with these dudes? Trying to be
boxing as a whole right now, though. They all on that bullshit. Is they buying their own hype? They let people talk them up, and then they think that they're something they're not. And that's what I don't understand. How you gonna say you're this and that, but ain't gonna take the steps to prove that you everything you say you are.
That's what I was saying. They want to wear the outfit, but they don't want to. They don't want to go through the motions of being great, bro. Being great comes with fighting hard motherfuckers that are supposed ranked. If you're a champion, if you're not, you're ranked yourself. You're supposed to be fighting motherfuckers in order to take their rank to touch the champ, right? You're supposed to get some fucking concussions. You're supposed to come with a couple of knockdowns, or you're supposed to come with adversity. You're supposed to come with baptism under fire. That by the time you're going to reach that motherfucking champ, son, like nobody can dispute you at all. Even if you got one title, even if you got two, it's the way you're fighting. Remember when motherfucker like look, Sugar Ray Leonard. Why is it that we can't dispute him, but yet for us he's undisputed? Because this motherfucker fought like he had all 4 fucking titles. This motherfucker fought like he was undisputed. Everybody he fought, he beat the shit out of them, and they were tough motherfuckers. Right?
No.
Yeah.
I think Hagler won the fight between them.
Right,
That's just my personal opinion.
Kodo's talking at 147.
Well, okay,
yeah. I'm talking 147.
Okay,
but we can go there one day, Gotti. We can go on there.
Yeah, but on the real though, and we are taking it back to some legends. But there's 2 fighters in May who are going to be stepping up for greatness at 140 pounds: Ramirez and Taylor. Those 2 dudes been fighting everybody.
Word.
Between them, they have wins over every top guy in that weight division.
Yes,
they've cleared that shit out. It's just them 2 now,
and that's how it's supposed to be.
And they get no.
That's how you're supposed to do it.
And they don't get
and
the
that's on free. That's on standard ESPN in America.
Yeah,
standard. Meanwhile, people have to pay-per-view for Andy Ruiz versus Chris Arreola.
We're gonna see
the nerve.
We're gonna see
the nerve, yo.
Yeah, right, bro. They talking about we got 2 has-beens for $50. You with it? Nah, bro. That's like you putting fucking candied beans on my vanilla ice cream cone, motherfucker. Like that shit don't go together. And I would take a massive shit on this fucking. Like I got a shit on this. This is PBC fishing, looking for a next heavyweight champion, bro. That's what the shit is. And they're gonna placate to the Mexican crowd. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna do the Mayweather mapping on this. Trust me when I say this. They already know Wilder is done. Like Wilder compartido. That he's done.
Well, apparently he about to make his comeback. You know what I'm saying? Like he about to make his comeback in a major pay-per-view against Andy Ruiz. You know they about to have a little tune-ups in between, and they supposed to see each other for the tender price of like $99.95 from what I'm hearing.
Or that's not even HD.
It's like the nerve, yo. Like you can't. These motherfuckers don't even realistically got a lot of dates over at the PBC. And then when you bring one, you're gonna bring fucking Arreola versus Ruiz, and then think that's supposed to move the needle. Yeah.
Chris Nipples.
Yeah.
We're gonna see Chris Nipples versus fucking Porky Pig on fucking clenbuterol, bro. This is amazing.
The best fight they have it's not been put on BoxRec yet, but this has pretty much been agreed. The best fight over on PBC that they have for us right now, in my opinion, that'll be coming up, is clashing on the same day as Linares Haney, May 29th. And that's Nordinu Obali
versus Daenerys.
PBC bantamweight against Daenerys. Yeah, which is a year in the making, because I don't know if that fight's ever going to happen, because you know as well as I do, Two Hands, that shit's been postponed about 42 times.
Absolutely. That shit was supposed to happen. They was supposed to be given to us in the winter, and it got pushed back again. So we'll see what's going to come.
It was meant to be. It was meant to be May last year. Then it got pushed back to July. Then it got pushed back to October, and then it got pushed back to December. Then when December came around, they said Daenerys failed his COVID test, and then he went and got extra testing done, and he was cleared, and they still wouldn't make the fight. So then they were going to do Rodriguez versus Ubali. Then after that, right? So they were doing Rodriguez Ubali, and Ubali couldn't get a visa at the time. So then they ended up making Raymar Gaboyo versus Rodriguez, and then they robbed the shit out of Rodriguez. Like, think of that.
That's nuts.
Think of that.
That's nuts, man. That's crazy.
And the sad part is, it ain't nothing new in the state of boxing right now. That's like one of the worst things about boxing is the fucking judges.
It's like, yo, I honestly am at the point to where it's just like, the zone, Top Rank, and then there's kind of everything else.
You're right.
Showtime, and then kind of everything else.
You're right,
Imagine in the NBA, right? This is one of the biggest problems with fucking boxing. Imagine in the NBA, right? Someone hits a 3-pointer on the buzzer, gets it in there, right? They win by 1 point. And then 3 guys come up and say, "Well, I felt the other team did better in the middle of the game a little bit more, so they had a bit more court generalship. So we're scoring at an extra 2 points to them, so they win the game." Like that's the most corrupt shit you can imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they should go back to like the UFC's original way of judging, where you judge the overall fight and who looks like they got this shit beat out of them. Like, how you gonna give the fight to somebody whose face split all the hell up?
Well, that
and then other dude like he ain't been touched.
That can be flawed though. That can be flawed because
it can, but it holds you more responsible to a certain extent because after the fact, yeah, we can talk all the shit we want, but you already got robbed.
They should do something with the scoring structure rather than just the beating up stuff. Because if you take a look at like Gabe Rosado, right? Gabe Rosado's the type of guy who you punch him once, he's gonna be bleeding out of 7 different holes.
Word, bro. He bleed like Mei Ling, son. My man got
I feel you. I feel you on that part.
But based on this, right? I'm not even joking. Gabe Rosado went in against Danny Jacobs looking worse than Danny Jacobs did coming out with a fight. He came in looking worse.
But my thing is like, how many fights have we seen that we legitimately thought the guy that lost won, and you could just look at him and tell? Just if you were to not see the fight, look at him like,
there is a few, but like then look at Golovkin and Derevianchenko. Derevianchenko came out there looking like a raccoon because Golovkin hits harder. But most people thought Derevianchenko won more rounds.
All right, I got one for y'all.
Yeah.
I got one for y'all. Lamont Peterson versus Danny Garcia. Remember that shit?
I do.
Yeah.
Lamont Peterson looked like he didn't even get touched. But fucking Danny Garcia looked like he got hit by a bumper.
Danny Garcia got his ass whooped.
Word.
He did, but that's just blatant corruption because that was on a round by round basis. Yeah. I think something that needs to be done is the scoring of rounds, right? So we have this 10-8 if you get dropped, right? But let's say a dude lands 2 more punches in a round, doesn't do much. So both guys throw 6 punches, the other dude lands 2 more. He wins the round 10-9. The next round, Buddy comes in there, lands 30 punches on him. That round is equal to the other round, 10-9. It's equal to it. Now that's the flaw. That's the flaw. Because how can you land 1 more punch, and then next round, other dude lands 40 more punches, but now you two are tied in the fight? That's bullshit.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Man, it's like, but see that punch counter? I think that motherfucking punch counter need to just go. I think that shit is like I think that is a subconscious, you know what I'm saying, clusterfuck. Like, think about it like this. Because every time I watch a PBC match, like Sean Porter for Errol Spence, for instance, you look at the fucking punch counter. For every time Sean Porter hit Errol Spence, that motherfucker punch counter might have went up 1 time for every fucking 8 or 9 shots.
I actually pointed that out in my post-fight of this, right? There was a moment where Porter caught him with a double uppercut and a left hook, right? And he was on 81 punches landed. And about 10 seconds later, he was at 75 punches landed. They actually subtracted punches from him.
Yeah,
subtracted.
So what I'm saying is, like, you take that punch count into consideration. Like, there's certain people that actually pay attention to that shit. Like, I don't care about, Chris Mannix or whoever, fucking card during the fight. I don't care about these motherfuckers phony punch counter. Leave all of that shit out of it, man. Because, I think all of that shit, like, subconsciously, like, play on like what people really feel about the fight and shit. And that ain't even really so, because that shit is so fucking far from accurate. Like you said, they subtracting fucking punches from certain people because it just goes back to who they want to win, man. Punch counter the damn judge, man. All of that, I think that shit definitely works hand in hand. Like, you might be looking at the punch counter like, if you don't get the knockout, it's coming.
Do y'all remember last year?
So I just missed the last 45 seconds, so I'm still catching up to that.
But do y'all remember last year? There was a fight, right, where they tried to rob a fighter, right? They really tried on this shit. Do y'all remember that Abel Ramos versus Yordenis Ugas fight? I'm not trying to be funny or nothing with you, bro, but like Abel Ramos was getting pieced up. He lost 10-2 in that fight, right? I remember Ugas landed 20 punches consecutive, and I'm talking landed. Like, this dude's head snapping back, right? And I'm there like, yo, they didn't give him one single punch there. Not one single punch on the punch count. I'm like, yo, they trying to rob fighters blind, and then then some judge comes up in there and gives Abel Ramos a draw. That dude was walking onto hands all night, bro. I'm not trying to be funny or nothing, but that either these judges are really incompetent, or
do you think it's that they're incompetent or they're just corrupt as hell?
Well, if I had finished my point, I would have said, or
I think both. I think it's all of the above. Some are incompetent, some just fucking getting paid, but it's really they getting paid.
Bro, you know when a lot of these fights are taking place in Vegas, yeah? I'm from fucking Ireland. We all gamble over here. Everybody gambles. I know where the capital of gambling is, right? It's Vegas. It's out in fucking Vegas. Don't tell me, if they're not being paid under the table, that two of these judges aren't having a word with each other beforehand and saying, hey, yo, what do you think about betting on Abel Ramos to get a majority decision loss in this fight? We'll give it to Ugas. We get one judge to give a judge scorecard that's even. Then we go up and we get the majority decision at 4-1, and we each put $5,000 on it, and we're up 20K. Come the fuck on.
I mean, I feel you, because there's a million people that would say there's a very good reason why Mayweather always fought his biggest, toughest fights in Vegas, where his camp is, where he knows everybody and is in the circle. I mean,
I'm like, man, there was this show I used to watch all the time that had Leon Muhammad on it, like Laugh at First Sight, right? And they would always crack this joke about, the dude Jason Cross getting these underhanded envelopes from the PBC and stuff like that per his agenda when it came to the conversations he was having with Leon Muhammad and shit. And then he would have jokes with him about the envelopes that he was being slid from Top Rank. My whole thing is that just isn't hysterics. That shit is definitely going on. Once again, y'all motherfuckers not having all your fights in Vegas and shit like that. Y'all niggas, I know some referees is pro. They're pro man. I think all referees in a sense are kind of pro mainstream, and I think the only thing in most cases that kind of stops that is a knockout.
Like, let me say something, because I know this shit really does happen, right? Even to the smallest scale of shit. I got at the back end of 2019, early 2020, I got my amateur license, right? My amateur license to be a judge. I've only gotten to judge just over 20 fights so far because of the Rona, right? That's all I've gotten to judge. I was doing one at a gym which will remain nameless, right? They said if I want to be able to build my fights up, they actually said this to me, that if I want to build my fights up coming to this gym to do their stuff, I gotta give the decision to their guy. I got it, because he's aiming to try to go to nationals. If I don't, I can't come back. So it lowers my chances of being able to go into being a professional.
I believe it at 100%. I mean, that's the way judging is done from the get, and that's why it is the way it is. You just getting the insider's look at it. It's shit we've all known for years that happens, but we can't prove it because we ain't on the inside of it.
Yeah, I think anybody that probably wants to operate within the establishment, I think you're going to have to somewhat take a few fuck yous from fans on a yearly basis. Like, you're going to have to take that. Yeah, exactly. Sell out.
Yep.
Flat out. Because there's no way that you're going to be able to referee any fucking event, or you're going to be able to judge any event, and there's not going to be some type of economic pressure, you know what I mean, from the corporate establishment that's put on you, to where it's like, okay, this is Canelo Alvarez, this is whoever the case may be. Any one of those 117, 111s, any type of fucked up card or any type of fucked up event we can think of, we can always go back to, like, hypothetically speaking, we thinking immediately, man, the establishment is trying to upset the apple cart. So
all day, and you ain't wrong on that.
Yep.
You're wrong on that.
But how do you clean it though?
That's the thing. It's gonna take, like, let's just say if it comes from a judges or whatever, like that fucking Adelaide Berg did, right? It's gonna take somebody that's next to her to say, yo, what the fuck are you doing? You're supposed to have some fucking dignity in this here. And this is what you're doing. Like, see, other judges too. Like, they stay
dollars outweigh dignity.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like they stay quiet Why? Because either they don't want no parts of it or they want to still keep their fucking job. So they rather just stay like, okay, I'm not going to take it. I'm going to do my job, but I'm going to act like I ain't see it. Those are the fucking cowards. The ones that know that are actually staying out of it, but not participating. If you're not going to go that way, you should be saying something, because that right there, it's making you look bad. Now it's making you look like this person ain't scoring right. That judge is right. The judge that judged wrong is correct. This is exactly what is going to make these other fight fans believe shit like this. That's why they believe it. Oh no, it's just the bullshit, bro. They stay quiet. And I'm gonna tell you something else. I feel that fighters that are looking for broadcast fucking positions, just listen. You guys should be refs. You guys should take the responsibility as well to at least not be refs or judges, but at least teach these motherfuckers, man.
Talk to them.
Damn. Do something.
But it's like okay, it's kind of like if you go to a school to be a referee, you go to school to be a judge. It's kind of like no different than any motherfucker going to college to be a politician, I would assume. Like you're going in that motherfucker, hardwired to know underneath of all of these teachings and so-called the all of the aspects of boxing that you're supposed to pay attention to, so you understand the rules. There are another set of rules that go far beyond what's going on in the ring. Like there's another type of judging too. You feel what I'm saying? Like you know what I mean? Like I think there's a school for a different type of judging that probably doesn't go on from the 8 o'clock to the 2 o'clock curriculum, but it probably goes on from probably like the 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock curriculum. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that curriculum's called How to Get Over on Niggas 101.
Yeah, you're going to do what we tell you to do, and you'll continue to get work, or you piss us off and you're done.
Yep.
You ain't going to have another opportunity.
Precisely.
That's why they need to have an international governing body, third party from all the WB who the fuck evers that does just judging. Judging and refereeing.
I've been hearing that theory for years, right? And I kind of like the idea, but I'm going to ask you a question no one asked themselves when they asked for an international federation on all of this, right? What would you rather have? Would you rather have everybody else being corrupt and everybody else can make the bread in many different fucking ways? Or would you rather one monopoly on the corruption? Because if you think you can get an international fucking federation in this sport and they're not going to be even more corrupt with a monopoly, you be crazy, because that's putting way too much trust into one body.
Right.
Way too
much. Set it up in a way where you don't have people that are from that country or have interest in this and that, like randomly pick them and have different areas or locales, but they're all kind of under one umbrella, one rule set, and one set of penalties. Where they catch you fucking up, you're gone.
I think you would have to look at the mistakes that other associations have made, other leagues have made, NBA, NFL, and they go back. I would say, I can't remember however many years, collective bargaining. Of course, they got their players association, and it has its hierarchy. And you look through just basically trial and error. If it's going to come down to just one establishment, the players have to have some type of power too. So where it kind of goes both, so where you can kind of exercise a level of balance too, but it can't be power shifting so far to the establishment side and power to shift it so far to the player side too. So I don't know. You would have to. I think it would be a level of trial and error.
You got to find a happy medium in there where the fighters, coaches, promotions, everybody gets a say, but it comes down to a group of people that don't have vested interest in a promotion, a fighter, a trainer, a gym, what the fuck ever it may be. Where you get a little bit more of a fair shake on.
I say this. The government should be involved, because if the government was involved, all of these fucking promoters who are doing this shit, and we know who should be hit with Ali Acts. Let's not pretend like that's not a fucking problem either. Like everything would be straightened out. All these motherfuckers would not be walking a crooked line. They'd be walking straight because the testing agencies would be investigated, very fuckeries. The judges as well, because then that would have to do with money, corruption, and gambling and all that extortion and stuff. They would every pocket that we're mentioning right now would be filled with all types of like overlooking from bigger officials. But that's the problem. See, this is why boxing doesn't want to affiliate itself with these. That's why, because they know if we do that, we can't get over. We can't get over. All these guys know individually. Bob Arum, Eddie Hearn, his father, back to fucking Heyman, who just got up in the game. Duva. I mean, we could keep going. Or everybody knows we're all corruption. We're all corrupted, and there's one thing that we can all agree on: we are not going to ask for the. That's the only thing they agree on. That's the only thing that their hands and bread on.
The problem is though. If you try to clean it up, right? It goes. I think it goes so far beyond just the establishment itself as well, right? Because you got to think, just like y'all were just saying, you got promoters, you got trainers, you got gyms. So there's always another little cell that's going to be able to be corrupted, even outside of that establishment. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, even if you curve one, it's like they still have another way to. It's like it's so many ways to get in and fuck the whole shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Well, look at football. We're still allowed to bet on football, gamble, this and that, but football is the only professional sport in America that doesn't fall under the Fair Competition Clause guidelines. Them and the WWE. That shit is scripted, it's fake, it's all that. But you're still allowed to gamble on it. You're still allowed to put your money on it, even though the outcome has been determined already.
Exactly. And look, the WWF
ain't that about a bitch?
That's what I'm saying.
Ain't it though?
Word. Look, the WWF, bro, these motherfuckers, they were never with the government. He was never with the government until that steroid scandal came. Then all of a sudden, what happened? Now the government came in the game and told them, look, now we're gonna overlook testing. You're gonna have to give regular testing. So that's why now all these wrestlers are smaller now, and they, you know what I'm saying. So it's like the same shit could be done for boxing, but that's the thing. Boxing is on some shit where it's the oldest fucking sport that has been so fucking corrupted by so many fucking mobs: Irish, Italian, Puerto Rican, Black American, all types of mobs, bro, have had their hands on this, especially the Italian mob. That's known. Yeah, exactly. That's known. And Sammy the Bull, when he gave testimony on everybody from Don King to fucking Duva, the old man, all the way down to fucking Marvelous Marvin Hagler, knowing the brothers and shit. And I'm telling you, it's like it's very deep, like you guys are saying, yes. But once the government got their hands in it, like they have with football, baseball, basketball, golf, all that shit, bro. No, there's a straight line. You don't ever hear this shit. If we do hear of any of these athletes fucking up, it's out of the sport. Tiger Woods are not in the sport, right? Yeah. Look at this shit now.
Hey, but wouldn't the agenda kind of change though? Like, all right, say you got, you know what I mean, the entities that are already in boxing right now, and we say, you know, we want to move to one umbrella. Yeah. Wouldn't the kind of, you know, the interest kind of shift based on, you know, popularity? So certain motherfuckers, instead of, you know, we seeing, okay, well, the judge might rob this shit, or they might fuck this shit up too. But then you got in other instances, if it's all under one umbrella, that the interest shift when it comes to popularity in fighters. So then it becomes the protection there too. So it's like, I don't know. I think kind of on both sides, the waters is muddy too, because I think you might get a little bit more genuine competition based on the fact of you don't have to worry about, you know what I'm saying, it being under one umbrella.
Look, anytime there's money involved, you're going to have corruption, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So it's got to be a mix of all of it to make it work.
Look, I see it like this, right? I see it like this. Just like we got the WBC, who's a commission, a boxing commission, lying to everybody, right? And then telling everybody that they're a fucking franchise. See, that right there, that waves a lot of red flags, right? So this is what needs to happen. The promotions, you got Top Rank, you got PBC, you got Golden Boy, Matchroom, so on and so forth. These things could be like This is why they can actually become a franchise. It will be better. These guys will be more stables. Once they have merchandise out there, you can call yourself a fucking franchise. So just like the NFL has the Seahawks and the fucking right, you would have fighters coming from Top Rank versus it would be more stabilized that way. It would be much more stabilized, more boxing interest. The rankings would be followed like a motherfucker. Boxing will fall straight into place. It's like spanking a good dude that has good qualities and making him use those qualities. You know what I'm saying? For the better use of life, so he can move it on, not the shit that he's doing. So this is how I see it. Like, just imagine that. Like, you know, just like you got the Rangers and you would have Golden Boy boxes, right? Going up against PPC, like the way it's supposed to, the way it used to. The only thing is more franchise now. Now they would have to actually swallow the dick that they're trying to put in our asses and actually be a franchise now. And then
eventually, you know, that the NFL and AFL had to realize we was better together.
Yeah, but at the same time, look at the money it's generated, though. Do you think it would have generated that type of money being by themselves together? Think about this now.
No, that's why I just said. I said eventually the NFL and the AFL, both of those organizations had to realize that we are more profitable working together.
Right.
So, and they still had, you know, and they still had it together. But once again, you know, you got the NFC and you got the AFC.
Yeah.
Fell under conferences. So I'm just saying, boxing has to find a way. It goes back to boxing has to find a way, even with the 4 sanctioning bodies, that we can hold each other accountable, even if
to the same standard.
We're our own entity, right? Like, we got to hold each other to the same standard on some level. Like, yo, I can't have you going over here making 8,000 belts, 8,000 divisions. I think, you know, if they all kind of came together and kind of just try to kind of minimize some of that title traffic, I think it could kind of work better. But they got to hold each other accountable to some regard, because I think that's the only way to work. Because there's too much money going around.
They need to have more.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, they need to have more money going around, you know, between all of them, have more interaction with each other and make it more public. So we're more interested in these fights, and they're not so worried about building up this one person who's a draw, but the other person ain't. If you was putting good fights on and promoting all these guys and serious about your rankings, we would be more interested and you would be making more money overall, just like you were talking about with the NFL, you know, AFL, NFL thing. If they came together, got on the same page, were on the same standard and everything else of how they're going to rank, judge, all that, it's nothing but good. But they're so scared to lose $1 short term that that's something we're going to have to force them to do if we want to see good fights and fair judging.
Yeah, man. And I think that, like, once again, man, I think that, you know, the judging shit is always, we always going, you're always going to have that moment to where somebody's going to get fucked, bro. Because I don't think that people are ever really going to get behind the idea. If it comes down to decision, you're always going to get screwed in a sense, because I don't think any promoter's ever going to get behind the idea, hey, if my cash cow is in a position of where, you know what I'm saying, the money is about to be all the way screwed up and I don't got them protected by rematch clause, I might have to go ahead and just step in.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I just feel, you know, that you know, if there was another motherfucker who's bigger than these motherfuckers, you know, slap them into place and tell them, yo, we watching y'all, so get your shit right. I think that, you know, a lot of these promoters that should be hit with the Ali Act that are fucking this game up would actually fall into place. You know what I'm saying? And fall into line, because the moment the government got on Don King for a couple of fighters, kid, you notice how Don King was doing pretty good at this, like 4 years straight. He was giving us some nice fights. Everybody liked Don King for 4 years, or I think it was 3 or 4 years. Then all of a sudden, it's like what he did to Tim Witherspoon. Everybody was like, "Oh, he did this shit again, this motherfucker." Like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Sean P says uniform leagues have not eliminated corruption. In fact, it can be argued that it became easier and more prevalent. That's true. And I think that's where, like, okay, over in America, once again, I think that's where, like, players associations come into play, to where it's like, players realize the necessary powers that they have, and they tend to, you know what I mean, that where they created to where it's like, okay, well, shit's gonna have to balance out in our favor, where they've exercised a way to where they can meet up with the league owners, the CEOs, et cetera,
Yeah.
of every basketball, of every basketball franchise, to where they can come to them and talk to them, to where it's like, okay, we're gonna change this and this and this, so they can have more things work in their favor as far as insurance, as far as all of that shit. So I just think that boxing is going to have to come to a way to where they falling underneath the same restraints. But at the same time, with what Sean P is saying, that's why I was saying earlier, like, does it necessarily mean that if it falls underneath one umbrella, that it gets better? Because I think that you could lose an element of competition in boxing when it becomes based under one umbrella, just off the strength of the fact that that's when stardom becomes, favoritism and stardom becomes hand in hand, and that's when it's just like, yo, we're gonna put this guy above everything else, and then they start, robbing niggas based off that.
Because I also see it as a stardom thing. Like, these fighters are trying to get themselves out there and stuff, right? So when, like, let's just say fighters, like, of course, the four kings, the fabulous four, like each and every one of these guys who they were signed to, let's just say, imagine them representing, like, really, like, just like a team, but their franchise at the time, their promotion would be a franchise. So you had the Sugar Ray Leonard going out there, right? And because this is how it used to be, but this, like you guys are saying, the problem was that it only took one dude, actually two people. It took Floyd Mayweather and Al Heyman to bring this whole money thing to the point where it's like you can get over on the system by doing what you want to do, but at the same time, it backfires on Al Heyman, because now how much money does Al Heyman owe for giving out all of this money? My whole point in what I'm saying is, when you give these young fighters money ahead of time, what it takes away the incentive. So that's just like me hiring you, right? And you come in and I give you your whole year's salary ahead of time. Now, honestly, how many times during that year, now that you got your whole year's advance, right? That day, how many times are you going to call out? Right? How many times are you not going to be able to come to work? How many times are you going to make sure, fuck this, I got paid, they need, you know what I mean? This is exactly what's going on. These guys are not showing up. They're not showing up. And if they do, they want to be called great. So this is what I'm saying. The money, exactly what Junior's saying, exactly what Sean P saying. It's the money, the incentive, bro. It was taken away. Look at the pay-per-views. Now everybody's a pay-per-view. Now anybody can be on pay-per-view, bro. Everybody now.
Pay-per-view is a whole, like, that whole design is to where it's just like, man, fuck that, man. I can't afford to spend the money behind these guys and take the L. Where I think it's even less risque for us to take pay-per-view on guys like Chris Arreola and Andy Ruiz, based on the fact that we're catching so many L's over here regardless. Now, yeah, but then, and once again, playing devil's advocate, it's just like, okay, well, I look at the rules.
Yeah.
What's already laid in place, and how can I operate and maneuver within that, whether fighter or sanctioning body per se. So I'm just like, everybody trying to find a way to finesse. And I mean, shit, like, yo, hey, look, I can't fault a person. I can't fault a person for doing it. Like, cause look, man, it's gotten to a point to where, like, look, I think everything creates something bigger than what happened before. Like, okay, we had position where fighters was getting fucked, so now these young fighters, they ain't moving in a position where they gonna get fucked no more. They're like, nah, we want all the money up front.
Yeah. Yep.
But yo, y'all think you think Nakatani really got a real chance to beat Lomachenko?
Yeah. I think so. I think so.
I don't know. I mean, everybody's got a real chance to beat him.
You breaking up, Gotti?
Shit. You hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yo.
Loud and clear,
Okay.
loud and clear. Yeah, I can definitely hear you. Well, now I can, unless you're just not talking. We might have lost Gotti for a second.
Word. We just gave all the fallen fighters a 10-second
Damn, I had my
moment of
weed in me the
silence.
whole time. Yeah, man. Yo, you know, we like to give a moment of silence for Gotti and his cell phone reception.
Word up. Oh, my man got he got what was it? Tiafimo senior problems.
I'll be right back.
After these messages, we'll be
Look,
right back.
Oh shit, I forgot about that food on the stove. Pew.
I'm gonna charge my cell phone. I'll be right back. Cricket.
My man got two streams.
Oh, there it goes.
Okay, there
Damn.
we go.
All right.
There
Can you
go.
hear me
back.
now?
Yes, sir.
All
Loud and
right.
clear.
Man, I think anybody that has the size that can bully Lomachenko around and can stick to their game plan can beat him. But he's slick.
He got
smart,
the size.
and he's been working on all that shit that he lost that fight that he just got showed the hell up, really, because he didn't do shit the whole fight and then tried to come back at the very end, and he's just, my man's too big for it. I think he realized that.
One thing I will say is Lomachenko has definitely Masaroshi Nagatani has definitely got the size. For real, I go out there and just have to go straight forward at him. I think that's Masaroshi's whole fighting style anyway, to just come up, slug, and just be as fucking as much as a nuisance as possible. So yeah, I think he could generate problems for Lomachenko. But I think, how big of problems you think it could create though? Because I think Masaroshi is kind of proving that he could take Teofimo's punch. He took Verdeo's punches, came through him, and kept wearing it out. So do you think Lomachenko got enough sting, even with precision and accuracy or whatever, to affect him from coming forward?
I feel if Lomachenko keeps busy, meaning he keeps him busy throwing punches like he usually does. Remember, because in that Teofimo fight, he held back a lot. He wasn't throwing as much. He was neutralized.
Right.
So if he doesn't get neutralized, and if his shoulder, because let's take a good look at this now. He's also coming back from a shoulder surgery. All right, again, so you got to put that into a factor as well. This is why I say that Nagatani, he definitely stands a chance. He definitely does. But I think that we're gonna see a very, very mediocre punch rate coming from Lomachenko. I think Loma is gonna work more on his power for this fight. He's gonna have to, because now that both shoulders are fucked up, his speed is slowed down. His speed is slowed down. So it's more than likely that Loma's gonna work with getting the power to the opponent with the speed, as to getting the speed. You feel what I'm saying? He's gonna reverse.
Yeah, he's gonna have to. He's gonna have to, because he don't have the punching power to keep somebody off of him when they find that opportunity or they find that hole, and they keep capitalizing on it. He don't have the size or the power to just lay into him one time, be like, back the fuck up off me and give me some respect.
Because he like to move in pockets, operate in pockets, and get outside and reset.
Yeah, he's all about angles and throwing to deal with a lot of
punches. Yes, sir. So
and Nakatani he's going to reign over top of this dude. I mean, as far as his side, he's going to be very imposing. Now, as far as his skill set, does he have all of that together? Absolutely not. But how long? But is Lomachenko going to be able? Because I mean, age is a factor too. Is Lomachenko, like you said, with both the shoulders and everything, going to be able to keep that up for the entirety of 12 rounds and keep him off of him? I don't know. I think the kid might be able to smother him, because a lot of people y'all ain't the only ones. A lot of people saying that Nakatani can get that boy problems, man.
Yeah, that's what I see. And like I said, it's based off what he's gonna work on right now. And because remember, as you get older, you have to start, and your power sets into play along with your strategics. It's no longer about your legs. It's now how you're placing yourself away from shots and how you're placing your shots now. It's not as it was before, where it was mostly, working off of reflex, and everything just came off simply because you had great hand-eye coordination. After a while, getting hit, slowing down, surgeries, and Loma right now got both shoulders, if I'm not mistaken, unless it's the same shoulder. Either way, that's an advantage for the other opponent, and he's coming fresh off that. So he's got to work on that power. I hope Loma this time works more on his power. He's gonna have to. He's gonna have to start instead of stinging. He's gonna have to start now, like really, like concussing.
Okay, Jedi. So I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask you first. Do you truly believe that Lomachenko is gonna be willing to work on the inside and commit to that with Nakatani?
I think he'll do it, but I think it wouldn't be. I think it'll be in sporadic rounds. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think he'll do it like, let's say, 2, 3, and 4, like consecutively. No, I think he'll do it in like the important rounds, like round 5, 6. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, 9, 10, 11. Like, he won't expend himself as much, and he'll do it strategically in spots where if he's gonna get off medium range or you know what I mean, or inside, he's gonna have to do what he did with Teal, but faster. He's gonna have to move. You know what I'm saying? And try to reset on a move.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Because I think based off of what happened with Teal, I think that Lomachenko probably is going to have to realize that, okay, with the guys that are this size at this weight, I'm going to have to get in there and operate. I think that, he's got a little bit more wiggle room to exercise much better technique with a guy like Nagatani, and I think that, but he's so much longer though. Mark, what you think, man?
I expect him to stop Nakatani, actually. I'm in a different camp to most people on the fight. I think stars make fights, don't they?
Absolutely.
And yeah. I think a lot of people are leaving a couple of things out about Nakatani. Like, the inside, Nakatani doesn't fight in the pocket very well. He's really good at long range. Like, that's where his meat and potatoes is long to mid. Loma is much better in the pocket. He's actually better in the pocket. If you look at the rounds that he won against Teofimo, those are the rounds where he was in the pocket. The rounds where he lost, he was at range. I think Loma's going to try and get past that jab. I also think Nakatani may be suffering for something called, punch resistance failure, because it's falling down. Verdejo don't hit like Teofimo. That first fight with Teofimo, he took every blow from that motherfucker. He took blows from Verdejo in that next fight, and he got dropped. That wouldn't have happened beforehand. Injuries are mounting up. 2 fractures, one to the orbital bone, one to the bottom end of the cheekbone. That dude's waning at this stage. And as far as Loma's power goes, y'all know the answer to this, right? There's only one man who's been in the ring with Loma at lightweight who didn't get dropped.
This is true.
Good point.
See, that's why, like I said, that's why I was saying I think Lomachenko has a lot more room to operate comfortably on being on the inside on a guy like Nakatani, because he isn't as fluid as a puncher as Teofimo. So he's going to be able to operate the things he does well. I think he's going to be able to. It should definitely work to his advantage. And like I said, when it comes down stylistically, he should be able to style on Nagatani, because he doesn't have the best style. He's not the most accurate puncher. He's not the stiffest puncher. He's a long range, kind of more of a sloppier, I'm a fall in, get in where I fit in kind of fighter. So I think that Lomachenko should be able to pick that apart, especially if the high tech idol going to come in there.
Yeah, my whole worries is just him coming off of this surgery. You know what I'm saying? Because remember when he got off the last surgery, his performance wasn't so well because, of course he's coming back. He had to take it easy. And this is what I feel. If he does that with Nakatani, it's a danger. That's my worry. That's all. I just need to know how he's doing.
Kodo, can I say though? Nakatani's had 2 facial surgeries though. He had one after the Verdejo fight. Verdejo snapped that man's cheekbone.
My man got how do you call that, for a puzzle face, right? Jigsaw.
What's the dude off of God damn, I love that show. Comes on HBO with Steve Buscemi. With Steve Buscemi, the dude that's got the big with the pieced up face and shit, the Hitman. Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Got
gotta
the
see
puzzle
that,
face.
man. I gotta see that, man. They said that shit's like the
Oh
Sopranos.
shit! You
They
know
said
that shit is
Boardwalk? Oh, you got to watch it.
Yes.
Got to watch it,
Is it like the Sopranos?
man.
Kind of, but it's about
but
like
it's
Lucky
different.
Luciano and the boys back in the day,
Atlantic City.
Prohibition and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's dope.
Good
It's
looking.
dope.
No doubt. Good looking, man.
They vicious on there.
I'm glad to see that. No doubt.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
All right. So yeah, Gotti.
Yo.
So let me ask you a question now.
What's up?
Do you really see anything wrong with a fight going on between, let's say, Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., an exhibition, of course, and Oscar De La Hoya?
Do I see anything wrong with it?
Yeah, because now
I honestly,
yeah.
I think it's good for the sport. I think anything that gets the big names, that can draw eyes and attention to it, as long as it ain't a damn senior citizen bum fest.
Right.
Like Tyson and Jones Jr. I mean, it was good for what it was. It wasn't a letdown. They weren't going there to knock each other out. But I mean, anything that draws eyes to the sport in a good way, I'm all for it.
And especially when the sport's like a bit dry, and people are like that, man. And all of a sudden, Tyson comes out of nowhere, and Roy Jones agrees to a fucking exhibition, and we're like, oh, okay, cool. And the next day, everybody was happy because it was good to see these two motherfuckers in there again.
It's because we're wishing for a bygone era of boxing to come back. We want more of what we grew up seeing. Real fucking boxing with real warriors, no excuses, fighting the best to become the best.
Yes. Yeah. I hear
man.
That.
And then but you got another group that'll say, fuck your old warrior.
Yeah. And I tell them to suck a dick. They don't know nothing about boxing.
They're not saying that. They're not saying that like in those words, but that's basically what they saying. They're like, fuck what happened in the past. Fuck what y'all got. This is what you got fucking today. Appreciate what certain people are doing, and you shouldn't be able to have any critique on them. Like I'm just saying, like they're like, yo, you should appreciate activity, but fuck opposition. Because if so-and-so isn't doing it or whatever, you should just appreciate activity. Like, nah, that's just not enough for me.
What up? And you know what I tell them? You know what I tell them when they say appreciate activity? I said I would appreciate activity, but you motherfuckers are hardly active. You fight once a year. Your champions fight once a year. Your contenders fight twice a year. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
That's crazy to me because I don't see how motherfuckers can. I don't see how motherfuckers sit up there and just expect you to be like, oh, well, he's fighting. You know what I mean? But even if it's not necessarily, opponents that necessarily make it a 50-50, you should appreciate the shit. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's the problem. They've come to a
go ahead.
Echo.
Am I echoing?
No, but we say something. It's all good.
No, I was just saying that they've come to. That's all they've seen. That's all they know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like so
like
that's
what
I
they
think
appreciate because they ain't seen a real era.
Are we old as fuck? Are we old as fuck? Maybe
we might be.
Maybe niggas is just getting old. Maybe we just getting old and we just falling out of what appreciation for the game's supposed to be. I don't know, man.
Man, because these kids, they don't know. They see these prima donna champions walking around talking all this crazy shit, and they thinking that all that clout chasing bullshit outside the ring is important, but they ain't doing what they're supposed to be doing inside the ring.
Bro, what we're watching today is SJW boxing, bro. Bottom line. It's like second place is first, and there's no such thing as first. Think about that. So that means that the guys that are fighting on top, that we know that are fighting, that have unified and other, like Crawfords and Joshua's and and fucking GGGs and you're right. So now These guys are garbage. These guys are not the legacy fighters. It's all about the pride fighter. Meaning, and there's a big difference here. Oh no, it's all about the money. It's all about the money. Who's gaining more money? But these motherfuckers don't put no asses in seats either. So somebody explain to me how the fuck Errol Spence Jr. sells more than Canelo. How?
They won't, but he do though. So accept that shit, Jedi.
You see that? You see what we did there?
That's the problem.
Hell yeah.
Look,
yeah, it's you take what we give you and shut the fuck up.
Look, man, I think it always boils down like this. If it fits the person that you care about, then you're gonna be okay with it if it's average.
Fuck is wrong with these Spence fans?
Am I going too far out on a limb to say that? If it fit a person that certain people care about, they're not gonna fucking give two fucks if it's average.
Matter of fact, here, say it one more time.
Look at Deontay Wilder. I hate to bring his ass up, but that's the perfect example.
Yo, like here's the deal, right? Who's Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos is fighting on the Legends undercard. Niggas not know that? Oh, hold on. I think it's a Legends undercard. They fighting on the celebrity card. Like, let's think about it like this: Mike Tyson and Roy Jones sold more pay-per-views than any one of these other boxers that's just got in the ring recently. Any one of them. I don't care. This year, last year. You know what I'm saying? So does that not translate for anybody? So if it's a thing about being stuck in the past, let's look at it like this. I think Anderson Silva's even about to come over and fight Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and people are possibly more than likely going to watch that shit. So is it about being stuck in the past and just being able to appreciate certain shit? Because it seems like there are other entities that are benefiting from boxing that don't have anything to do with your fruitful youngsters. So I'm just saying, is it something wrong? So it's got to be something wrong with what they're doing. If the old cats is coming through off of it, eating more or whatever, and the young guys ain't necessarily, they playing undercard fiddles to YouTube sensations and wrestlers and hecklers and you name it.
I'm just waiting for the day that Mike Tyson smoked the fucking most lethal strain of bud and gets upset and says, you know what? I remember that shit that Deontay Wilder was talking. You know what I'm saying? You think you knocked me out in 86? What's up with a fight? Oh man. Like, I'm hoping one of those happens. Now, most of y'all probably gonna be scared for Tyson. Most of y'all gonna be like, nah, come on, bro. But listen, bro. These are the same people that said Wilder ain't got no hands. He don't know how to fight going backwards, no defense. His stance is too wide. Bro, Mike Tyson will break that boy down now.
I agree 100%.
All right, y'all see the comment right there, right? Fury been looking for a way out. Now, this ain't the first time I done heard this shit. What y'all think? Y'all think Fury looking for a way out of the fight?
No.
I don't know. I don't think he's looking for a way out of the fight. I think
he's looking for a way to win.
I think Fury's whole intentions was to put himself in a position to steal this fight for Deontay Wilder to get in this fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that he's trying to back up out of it. I don't think necessarily Fury is even concerned whether he wins or loses. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a bigger picture there. Like, I'm just like, man, I think we all should just reserve like opinions on it. Like, yeah, we can analyze his weight, we can analyze who we think going to win or going to lose or whatever. But I think that we should just kind of reserve our opinions until we figure out what's going on with the site date. Now we know it's not June, it's getting pushed back to July. So now the fingers are starting to be pointed. Like, I'm hearing it's not going to go down in June anymore.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts, bro. And Sean P, no doubt, bro. Like Oscar De La Hoya, he did take his L's, but he did fight a lot of motherfuckers in their prime, boy. I give Fishner his props, bro. I do.
Yeah, look, Oscar was one of my favorite fighters coming up. Period.
No lie.
That nigga ain't had no duck in his blood. That nigga, look, now he if you want to talk about
defeated Chavez. He defeated Chavez.
Yeah, like, man, but here's the fucking thing, though, man. I think, like, I don't know, man. I feel like maybe I'm starting to, like, every conversation gets caught up with what motherfuckers is not doing, who people not fighting, how much money this one's making. Like, is everybody like really kind of like losing the kind of the touch of what fucking boxing is supposed to be about? I don't know. What is boxing about at the end of the day? Because it seems like I don't think nobody really know for real no more. It's always money, or I don't fucking know, bro. Like, it's like the same shit every day, bro.
That's all it's ever about nowadays is money. And that's why boxing's fucked up like it is. Because instead of being great, you'd rather just get a paycheck.
Exactly. And look, this is what I say. Look, check this out. You guys are gonna agree with me. We had pay-per-view kings in our days in the early, what should I say, the mid 80s all the way to like the late 90s, right? We had Sugar Ray Leonard, we had Tommy Hearns, but then after that we had fucking Trinidad De La Hoya, Chavez. Remember all them pay-per-view greats, right? The pay-per-view kings. There was the incentive. And then if you were the opponent going against the champion, you became a household name along with him. Your fucking stock rose regardless if you won or lost because you gave such a great fight. Like, that's what it was all about. Now these days, like I said earlier, and I've been saying this shit for years on my channel, kid, they took away the incentive. Once you started giving these little motherfuckers these millions ahead of time without proving themselves, their boxing etiquette, bro, their fucking work ethic, you don't see it. This is why every fight is mediocre, but they want to call it fucking great. Every fighter out there is getting hit. You need to tell me that when Charlo hit this nigga in his belly button, this nigga got up. Really? How many times did we see that in our era? Niggas really had to get hit to get the fuck out of here, bro. And then when we say that niggas is laying down for Canelo, we wrong. When we see shots being placed with fucking eyes looking towards the shot on the opponent, ready to catch it. Come on, man. That's crazy. We know what we're talking about because we've seen fighters, but bro, we've grown with fighters in rings in our days. You can't do that now.
I think, man, I think it's a fucking psyop, bro. And like for real, so when I like, yo, niggas think I'm probably like motherfuckers hate to love me in a sense because I'm gonna say some shit that you gonna love one day, and then I'm gonna say some shit that you gonna hate me for in the next. But that's where fucking balance comes into place. That's probably a person you could gauge a little bit better than that. And not trying to put my characteristics above nothing else. But this is what I'm saying. I think there is a fucking certain narrative push to try to make it seem like old motherfuckers who might bring up, you know what I'm saying, the people who paved the way or whatever, their activity, the money, the level that they was on TV or whatever the case may be. That we bring that shit up and we translate it to what these fighters don't do. But how the fuck, like, you can't be better, you can't be good. Okay, so how was Adrian Peterson going to ever be Adrian Peterson if he didn't have Barry Sanders and Emmitt Smith to look to? Or how was Michael Jordan ever going to be Jordan if he didn't have Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and Dr. J to look up to? You know what I'm saying? Or like Ovechkin. How was Ovechkin going to be Ovechkin if he didn't have Brett Hall, Peter, like niggas like that, Peter Bondra, whoever to look up to? So I'm just saying, at the end of the day, I think that it's only normal to do so.
Yeah, and then
for somebody to say, not to cut you off, this is the last time I'm gonna say, Jedi. No, so for somebody to say, you know what I mean, like, yo, to not pay attention to the older fighters or whatever, and like, yo, niggas need to get up off of that. They tired of hearing whatever the case may be. I think it's only natural to have that conversation because you have to do anything that you do it in comparison.
Right. And remember, man, there's still records out there and feats to break. You know what I'm saying? You guys got to catch up to the big boys. You just can't do one thing and then all of a sudden, oh yeah, I'm the fucking GOAT. No, man, that word is being taken. The word great is being taken too lightly these days, man. It's like ain't nothing great no more.
They're not doing it for the love of boxing and the love of what they do. They're doing it for personal gain.
That's it.
And they don't care how they get there, who they fuck to make it happen.
Yep. And that's why us old timers, whether you like it or not, like my man Two Hands just said, we bring the balance. You may not like us. You might unsubscribe because we touched on your fighter, but to tell you the truth, take this on your way out with the unsubbing to make sure that you're thinking clearly. We are better fans to your fighter than you are because we're giving them the corrective and the constructive criticism that fighter needs. We're the ones that are making your fighter better. You know how we know that our words are reaching your fighter faster than yours? Because they answer us faster than they do to you. Oh, you haters. Oh, this and that. Yeah, you heard what we said. And what happens? The next fight, they corrected everything that we said to correct. The fuck out of here, guys. You gotta learn. You gotta shut the fuck up sometimes and learn.
Yeah,
But
man. Go ahead,
that's the
guys.
thing about that's the thing today with the fucking participation trophies and shit. Everybody gets a hand and everybody gets a good job no matter how much effort you really putting into it. And if it ain't good, we don't want to hear it. And that's why they are in the situation that they in.
Man, I think it's kind of like, yo, it's kind of like, man, modern fucking society, man. It's kind of like, yo, fuck what you did. Fuck how great y'all motherfuckers was. This is the shit that's going on. So you should look at the motherfuckers that's not doing shit and just accept what you got. Like, no, there has to be a bar that's set. A bar has been set. And if you're not meeting it, therein lies the issue.
Yep.
I don't know what else to say, yo. Like, yo, the niggas that came
Agreed.
before y'all set a bar, and y'all not meeting it.
Right.
Period. And y'all got all the intangibles. And if not, you know what I mean? It seems like just human beings as generations seem to perceive, their bodies get a little bit stronger, get a little bit longer, get a little bit faster. So y'all should be hyper accelerating what the fuck that we saw from them on TV. I don't know, man.
Yo, no, you know,
set,
no, and look, everybody on here is correct. I just gotta say one thing. Who wants to make a bet with me that once this Legends League kicks off, bro, this shit is their pay-per-views, their events are gonna sell out more than what the fuck's going on today. Look, here's the proof.
Guaranteed.
Here's the proof in the pudding, right? Check this out. How is it? And this was said by damn man, what's his name? He was just on here. Dolomite, my man Dolomite. What's going on, Dolomite? Yo, Dolomite just finished saying the most smartest thing ever, bro. Like right now, like he said, how is it that Errol Spence Jr., right, a pay-per-view undersold Mike Tyson's and fucking Roy Jones Jr.? Exactly, because they're not doing it right.
Saying.
They're not doing it right.
They've already proven that with Mike Tyson and Roy Jones, they have sold more pay-per-views in the past than any fight that's popped off in the past couple of years. That's spooky.
That's fact. That's fact. And that goes to show the state of boxing today that what the element that's missing is, ready? The word I always say, boys and girls, competitiveness. There is none of that today. There is no competitiveness today.
There has to be something fucking, you know what I'm saying, clogging up the function of the cogs in the system, man. Period. Because if it shows that Mike Tyson and Roy Jones can produce in one night more than what you guys have produced in the past couple of years, then in some way, then what we're saying is just correct, right?
Yes.
And then
Kyle, salute. What's up, bro?
What's up, two hands? What's up, lads? How are you,
bro?
What's
up, Jay?
What's going on, brother?
Yeah, I mean, it's sad. It's showing that like 50-year-olds are outselling this generation. I mean, it's sad and pathetic. It shows the state that boxing's in. I mean, back in the 80s, no one would give a fuck about two 50-year-olds fighting because you had all the fights that you wanted to see were getting made, and the competition was going on every week. But it shows that these days that 50-year-olds can outsell the current era of fighters. It shows the state that boxing's in.
Yeah, exactly. Look, if you look at the numbers today, it's mostly the competitive fights that sold pretty good pay-per-view numbers, right? And then the ones that were hyped up, they made the numbers, but of course the reviews didn't match what was sold. So at the end of the day, it's what the fan and the consumer says. So that fight fucking, even though it sold, it undersold to us. So we never
left a bad taste in people's mouth.
Exactly, but we never had that in our days. So that goes to show you that the boxing model of what Mayweather tried to present only worked for Mayweather. It's not working for you fucks. You know why? Because that shit, more reward, less damage. That's not what the boxing fan wants to see. Maybe
but that shit worked for Mayweather for a reason, though. He gave people a certain business model that they wanted to buy into. He advertised a certain level of business. through fighting the Diego Corrales and the Castillos of the world and shit like that, and the Gottis of the world back in the day. So people was already familiar with his product. You know what I mean? With De La Hoya and shit like that. With these other dudes, they're not giving us that same familiarity when it comes to their product. Like, who are they fighting?
Yeah, they're not building themselves. It's like I'm a new. Let's just say I'm a brand new computer company, and I say, yo, look at this computer. It runs fast and all that. You like, really? Show me the facts. And I'm like, well, you'll have to see for yourself. You're like, no. You have to show me a list of consumers that are happy with the product. You have to show me feedback of the product, of whether it's a minus or plus for the product. You have to show me the sales that it's made, and it's actually taking on ground so I can put money and invest in this shit. Because I don't know what it does. On top of that, you have to show me software and companies that have, pitched into this fucking computer hardware in order for this shit to run it. So if you can't show me that, how do you expect me to partake? This is what's going on with boxing today. Yeah, this fighter's this fighter's that. Really show me. Oh, his resume. Who the fuck are these people? Oh, it don't matter. Take the dick and shut up. Just like my man Suhan said. Just like my man Gotti said. It's like, here, take this model. And that's it. No, the competitive model, which is what's boxing on pay-per-view or live gate, will always sell more. Because it's the competitiveness. These motherfuckers are hitting each other. And they're not making any excuses to fight other motherfuckers. No obstacles thrown in front of each other, nothing. But no.
Yo, I think this is a great conversation that needs to be had, because I think that, it's motherfuckers to be held accountable, right? Like, and all that we do, and I mean, for fans, that's what we want. We want accountability. And you can't motherfuckers can't just all of a sudden not be held accountable, because that's what's the accepted norm of today, to where it's just like, yo, nothing came before you, you know what I'm saying? This is all this is, and this is all it's ever going to be. Because what that tells me is that stagnation. What that tells me is I'm comfortable with just being fucking average.
Yep. Exactly, bro.
What sports isn't about average. Sports is about number one. It's about, of course, you have all of your characteristics that come with it, but the bottom line, when you touch the field or when you put on gloves or whatever, it is to win, and it's to be better than your peers. The motherfuckers who, like, yo, you got bench players, but them niggas don't start for a reason. There's a superior person that goes in front of them. That's why you got captains. That's why you got first round picks and all of that shit. Same thing with gold medalists, silver medalists, and all of that being fast track and boxing. So you can't expect us to just be like, okay with your mediocrity.
Yep. And I'm gonna tell you something right now. With all this racial politics coming in now that boxing is becoming SJW, expect only black fighters to fight black fighters and white fighters to be totally like not placated to and not given any opportunities, because now being white is racist. Like, I'm telling you.
Like, you can't even be white in the world no more. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my fucking life. Like, white people.
That's why I have to stay to my own, and I don't fuck with nobody except for people I fucked with before, because it ain't nothing but problems no matter where you go.
And look, it's happening. Look, they're trying to do it to Bob Arum, right? They're trying to do it to Bob Arum. Everybody now, Bob Arum, the white slave owner. They try to do it to fucking Hearn. Oh, Hearn, the slave owner. The only thing is that it didn't stick, because there are more people that are interested in fights that Hearn's making than fucking Al Heyman. If Al Heyman had the power of Hearn and the power of this SJWs, man, bro, Hearn would have been.
And them motherfuckers canceled. Would love to hate him too.
Yeah, they would have been canceled. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, Hearn would have been canceled. Arum would have been canceled. We would have had no top rank. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, man, it's gonna happen. Look, De La Hoya, the reason why I hate him, it's not because of the fishnets only. It's not because of the way he fucking he made Canelo duck fucking GGG because of the fucking marination of making money. It's because he brought transgender boxing in 2018. Go check it out. Into this SJW shit into boxing, and it didn't work.
And Jedi, so for the weak motherfuckers who are gonna try to, you know what I'm saying, pick apart what you saying in the wrong way when it come to Bob Arum, here's what he said. Y'all motherfuckers just don't want to identify with the fucking truth because you want us you want us to believe that it's racism when you suffering when you're not just meeting the level of competition.
Exactly.
Because if that was the case, I ask people all the time, this is how I challenge that theory. I say, do you believe that Shakur Stevenson or do you believe that Virgil Ortiz, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney would be in the positions that they're in right now if they were over at the PBC, if it was such a slave ship over at Top Rank, if it was such a slave ship over at DAZN? Do you think Andre Ward and Jay Prince would be consistently doing business with Top Rank if it was what people said they were, and Terrence Crawford with his $3 to $4 million bottom line?
Thank you.
But all they're gonna do is say that they play the role that they're supposed to play, and they're a good house Negro, and that's why they got broke off.
Yeah, but if we're
Yeah,
gonna,
it's anything that they don't agree with, they're gonna find a way to fucking twist it to make it fit their narrative.
yeah, they
I'm
always
gonna
do
tell
that.
you
Look,
straight up. This conversation right here, and several conversations that I've had, just identifying what the truth is in the sport. I'm an Uncle Tom, I'm a Coom, I'm everything in the black, I'm everything in the black community that you know what I'm saying. I'm definitely not. Motherfuckers would never say to my face. So it just shows you to where it's like, yo, the agenda is, it's just like, yo, we're not competing on that level. Our money isn't generating. So it's just like, yo, let's create the general type of SJW, kind of like, you know, social justice behavior in boxing, because it seemed like it's so normal right now. And I hate to be the dude that act like, yo, motherfuckers is so weak to just be able to just like stand on what the truth really is. But y'all injected this shit.
yep.
You took something from fucking back in the day when everybody went out their way to clean it up, and you can't even say that, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers don't have a chance because the richest, the biggest money maker the sport has ever seen is an African American.
Listen, you ain't lying. As soon as these motherfuckers start talking
But
racism in
if I say
boxing,
that shit,
nah,
man,
listen, nah. You're absolutely correct. Look, as soon as they come on with that racist shit, I'm like, none of these motherfuckers went through what Marvelous Marvin Hagler went through. That was racism. They kept that man away from titles. And for
Yeah,
4
me
years
and Two
without a
Hands had
title,
that conversation a couple weeks ago.
you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, this man was undefeated 4 years, right, in a row. Then when he won the title, he was another 6 years, bro. Now, if that's not being the greatest middleweight, if that's not having the best work rate, if that's not having I don't know what else to tell these motherfuckers. But you are not facing the times of Marvelous Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray Leonard, okay, not even a Basilio era, not even a Jack Johnson era. This is fabricated racism. It's political. It's used as a political tool. And no matter what agenda politically, whether it's for your gain, you're gonna politicize it. You're gonna weaponize it, and that's what
the
it is. It's
deal is
weaponized,
this.
bro.
I'm gonna point my finger and I tell anybody that has any problem with what I say is this. I'm not willing. It's not that I'm unfair. It's not that I'm delusional. It's just that you just don't want to identify with being held responsible for, you know, the bullshit that it is generated and the money that you have happened to separate yourself from in the sport because of the type of opposition or the type of fighters that you happen to entertain. Don't blame it on some fucking phantom fucking some phantom fucking illusion that you just created, some monster up underneath of your fucking bed. Don't try to put that bullshit on me because it is on you. It is on you. When you're in this position, it is on you to perform. Period. If you are not performing, you are paid based on your performance. If it's your job pays you based on your performance. So sports entertainment, they pay you contractually based on your performance. So if you are underperforming or your opposition is undervalued, ain't even 50-50, don't fucking blame it on the fucking monster that you're fucking creating and making more bigger by the fucking minute underneath your bed. Cause it ain't that. It's what you choose. And we got, and that's the thing. Nobody wants to fucking say, hey, this is the role I play in it. No, it's just yo, accept it. But at the same time, you guys accept it, but I'm gonna bitch about the inequalities, but not identify with what I'm not doing. If you were identifying with the fact that you wasn't fighting nobody, fuck your inequalities. Wouldn't be no problem. Be realistic about what your shit really is. You're not.
Word. Don't sell us fucking piss and say it's lemonade.
Yo.
You want me to be like, man, look, hey, don't expect me to get hurt. This shit don't. Basically, what you telling me, Errol Spence, when you tell me that, oh, well, you know what I'm saying, my daughters don't eat off of, you know what I'm saying, great competition. That's what you're saying. It ain't about no fucking money. It ain't about what Terrence Crawford sell or don't sell. The money can be there if you want it to be there, but you don't want it to be there. Because what you're saying is, my daughters eat better off of a lesser opposition, and it's a safer road for me to travel. Why even risk the embarrassment? Because my fans have given me a lane to where it say, okay, I can kick my feet up and coast like this.
That's why they haven't made the fight yet.
Word up.
We've allowed it to where this motherfucker walks out the ring and he can say that Danny Swift Garcia makes him pound for pound in the world.
Ridiculous.
Fuck out of here.
Who instead of holding him accountable for that, what did the people do? They embraced it.
They massaged the shit.
But that's the culture. That's that SJW culture shit. You know, we just gonna pump you up and whatever you say, as long as it sounds good, hell yeah, we are behind you 100%. Until you say or do something we don't like, and then we mob it on your ass.
I'm gonna tell you like this, man. You show me a boxer that isn't telling you what they fucking worth, but at the same time not proving it, or a boxer that isn't saying what they worth, but at the same time doesn't even have a fucking belt or a fucking or a fight that says why he should be even thought of in better regard when it comes to a contractual dispute. All you can show me is a bunch of motherfuckers who either done lost, who done ran to the media and done bitched about what they not getting, what they not receiving, how it should be better, and this and that, and how it's on everybody else other than their own business that they're with to provide them with a better outcome. If you're demanding more out of other promotional outfits than you're demanding out of your own fucking boss, what are we doing here? Because basically, you want to know what that's really telling people? That's telling me that the grass is greener on the other fucking side of the street, stupid.
Exactly.
What does that say?
Yeah.
If you can't get it there and you're demanding it over here, you think these motherfuckers is stupid enough to give it to you because they got it. And they just got it to throw away. Because you already know you can't get that shit there. So basically, the grass is greener on the other side of the street. But you ain't peeping that. Fans. What's wrong with these Spence fans? I just wanted to be known that every way that people perceive it already, yo, they threw you a curveball, changed up. It's a whole change up, and you ain't peeped it.
Word.
You ain't peeped the fact that every time these motherfuckers go across the street and they ask for all of these inflated ass motherfucking numbers and stuff like that, that they telling you that, man, I done signed a dummy deal. Shout out to Errol Spence and all of his stipends. That's a fact. What's wrong with the stipends?
He's stipending the face ass niggas, bro. Y'all niggas, y'all getting stipends, bro. Y'all ain't getting them paychecks, man. Y'all lying to us, bro.
Sean Porter, once again, because I gotta make it a point to hammer this stuff home, because the other sides don't hammer it home, but they talk about how great motherfuckers conduct themselves on and off, time and time again. Man, miss me with all that bullshit. Sean Porter made it very clear that as soon as he got sent, y'all were talking about send an offer, Terrence. Send an offer, Terrence. Terrence Crawford and Bob Arum send an offer. He don't like it. The first thing he does is run to the media and talk about how bad they did him, how bad they disrespected him. You're gonna have to treat me with more respect than that if you want to get me in the ring with Mr. Terrence Crawford.
Because he's trying to save face for not taking the fight.
Exactly. And if you really feel as though you're worth that, why don't you negotiate it? Why would you run to the media as soon as you get sent the first offer?
This is
and try to make it look like you disrespected? Do you start high? Do you start low?
Look, you know this third, all the PBC victims, I call them victims because that's what they want to be called. So let's give it to them. These victims, Terrence Crawford victims, are like, let's use his name and let's say we want to fight him and let's say that he's ducking, but let's never fight him. This is what's happening. How many guys have used fucking Crawford's name, bro, and try to just to stay relevant? What the fuck is Sean Porter doing right now? Instead of saying, "Oh, you lowball me," or "You disrespecting me," man, shut up, shut the fuck up, bro, and put them gloves on, bro. Braid your hair, Afro puff it out. I don't give a fuck. Just show up.
Just show the fuck up. He's supposed to be this warrior, the one that everybody counts on, Mr. fucking Mr. Durable, Mr. Energizer Bunny. He just keeps on coming. You know what I mean? The linebacker, the one who was willing to fight anybody. But when you hear the conversations and the energy start to shift, but let's make it like it's a Terrence Crawford, Bob Arum issue. My thing is this. He made $1.2 million fighting Sebastian Formella, and in the pay-per-view in which he had with Errol Spence, he made, I believe, no more than $2.2 million. So if they offer you starting off 1.2 and then they proceed to move it up in the realm of 2.2, what is the issue here? Isn't that what you are worth? Or you think you're supposed to cash out on your death warrant?
Or are they actually admitting that fucking Crawford's more valuable? Think about that.
The paperwork will prove it. If he makes $4 million, and here's the thing, right? Sean Porter is in the position to prove everyone wrong.
Exactly.
He's in the position to prove everyone. He's in the position to prove us wrong, and to show that he is 100% correct in what he's saying, that he is disrespected and the price that was put out there by he's the mandatory WBO. Exercise your option, take it to purse bids, and prove us wrong. If you're worth so much more than the offer that was presented to you, because that's all you have to do. You don't have to do nothing else, Sean. That's all you got to do. If it ain't enough, go ahead and put it on the block, and let's go ahead and let's see if any one of these other promotional outfits are willing to make it enough.
That fight will be
but he's got
in a minute.
Yeah, he's got to do it that way, because if not, then they're gonna assume that he's scared of Crawford. We know he is. We know he don't want the smoke, but he's got to keep that persona and that bullshit up with everybody that believes it.
Nobody, look, man, I can't, you want me to invest into your truth, Sean? I'll invest into your truth if you do the things that I just said, because it's that simple. And here's another thing. We talked about the bar. A bar has been set, right? Financially speaking, hasn't Sean Porter set a certain bar for himself? Sean Porter has never been the biggest star. Sean Porter has always kind of hit his head on the ceiling, though he has won titles.
I'll say he's the most competitive out of PBC welterweights.
He is. He has heart. I take nothing away from him. I love Sean Porter. I love watching him fight. I believe that, they underestimated him when he fought Errol Spence. I even say that he won that fight. But we got to look at what the facts are. Let's look at what Sean Porter was paid. Let's look at the fact that Sean Porter has never made $2.2 million. He was offered that. He wasn't willing to accept it. I mean, look. If there's a bar that's already set financially for you, Sean Porter, they met that. I mean, shit, who's being robbed here? So how can I believe you?
Right.
And you have the opportunity to go to purse bid. Hey, bro. He said that he's worth more than what they offered him, correct? So
that's what he said.
Can he prove that? Can he make us believers by going to purse bid and proving that?
Exactly.
That's where I say, who really about what? Because an offer was sent. if you really were pushing it and this was supposedly your legacy fight, because you're not getting a fight with Manny Pacquiao. Errol Spence is not entertaining that situation because your Dennis Ugas happens to have that belt right now. So we already know he's going in that direction. You already know that the options are thin, few and far between. So what's the problem? He telling me, you know what he telling me. I wish I had it. I wish I had it right now, man. So I could just hit him with an old chicken.
Word up, man. Niggas got us out here sounding like Michael Jackson, frustrated and shit. Like niggas is tight out here. We don't get no smooth boxing. Like we don't get nothing, bro. We don't get shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's all right though, because like I said, man, look, God bless the Legends League that's gonna, gonna at least pump what's left in their life of fucking boxing, try to resuscitate it and show these young boys how to sell, how to fight too. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm hoping and praying before Tyson turns 60 and Wilder decides to leave, that Mike Tyson smokes the strongest strain of bud of reality, son, and he just comes out and says, I want to fight Wilder. One exhibition, you know what I'm saying? We can hit each other. It's all good, but you was talking shit. You said you could beat me 86, so we're gonna rewind the clock, you know what I'm saying? And I want him to just come out here and just fucking give him a whole vitamin tour on his whole eye, you know what I'm saying?
Wilder go and say, I'm fighting COVID.
COVID, son.
Hey, look, it's just certain shit that you turn away from, and I don't care what nobody say, bro. It's just certain things that don't change from your childhood. You know, every person when they were in comparison of like something that you just wouldn't do, or if you had to put an obscene amount of money on daring somebody to do something, 9 times out of 10, one of those things was letting Mike Tyson punch you in the face, or having to get locked in a room with Mike, or dealing with Mike Tyson. So I don't think that in this day and age, with the type of cowardice that Deontay Wilder has already showed us time and time again, I don't think that changes. Because for me, I know that's never changed. Shit, if you lock me in a room with Mike Tyson and he's upset, you got to leave me with one other thing: a hell of a gun. Period. Because I ain't dealing with dudes. Look, it's just certain things, like it's just certain shit that you don't piss off. Like, yo, I watched Lil Boosie, the so-called gangster rapper from fucking Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I love his fucking music. You know what I mean? This is a guy who is allegedly caught bodies. He is supposed to be a super thug in every sense of the word. I watched this man get emasculated on Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson.
Yeah, for real.
If you've never seen that dude, if you've never seen that shit, watch it. This dude literally was like, it's like, imagine, being like the most feminine type of men there is, like the most scary type, weakest type dude that the planet has to offer, and you get fucked and say like some major Ponzi scheme, and you have to go do time in like a major prison facility, but your fucking celly just happens to be the biggest, roughest, nastiest, you're gonna have to wash my drawers kind of dude. Yeah, he put those type of vibes on Lil Boosie.
Damn sure did. My man was caught like, the hush mouth quick. He was like a beat puppy.
He said a beat puppy.
It was, it's all, Jedi, I swear to God, if you haven't seen it, bro, I'm like, it's certain people that like you remember the old Mortal Kombat shit, the finish it, like the Shang Tsung, I'ma snatch your soul type of, like that whole shit, like. That's what Mike Tyson puts off, that type of energy. I don't think that shit is going to be too far from, Deontay Wilder's tree, bro. I think just look at how he folded up when it came to Shannon Briggs. Briggs really wanted to give him that Smith-O.
Yeah, bro. Shannon Briggs was like, they gave you those titles, champ. They gave you those titles. My man was like, yeah, but I'm the champ. He was like, come on then. What's good? Bro, they ducked Briggs hard, son, and he was in contendership too. They ducked him hard, and at the time Briggs had like 8 bodies under his glove. I never seen Beyonce fold so quick in my life. They escorted him away from Briggs. Like, yo, get this man away from him.
He
I saw
said,
it.
"You ain't never fought nobody. You ain't fought nobody.
They
I
gave you
beat
those
you,
titles.
chump. They gave you that title. They gave you that title." I was just sitting there like, yeah. Tell that nigga, all scrubs, wedding can minivans. Wedding can behind the minivan promotion.
Clink, motherfuckers.
The clinkety clink promotion. Clink clack, clinkety clink promotion.
Word up, man. Yo,
Shannon Briggs, you ain't fought nobody.
I knock you out.
Period. I knocked you out. And he was out there joning some sandals, I believe. Shannon Briggs was out there joning slippers, man.
Crocs.
That's how you know he ready to fight.
Word up. He was on
slide them bitches off and get work.
Look, man. Hey, look, Shannon Briggs is another imposing figure. And this is the thing, right? If you a fake dude and you know that those are real heavyweight great knockout kings, you ain't saying shit. Wilder could sit up there, look, Wilder had the Dutter Man face like, I'll knock you out. Like, no, you won't. No, you won't. Put y'all niggas in a backyard, put y'all niggas in a house by yourself, put y'all in a ring, throw y'all boys both some boxing gloves. I promise you, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be wanting to go ahead and rush and exercise that right hand because they know something that you don't know. They know that you're limited and they know how to box. So even in old age, I watched Evander Holyfield look amazing sparring against Andy Ruiz. If nobody has seen this 50-plus-year-old man dancing around the ring with Andy Ruiz and just seeing the level of the the skill level, the difference, the technique, the fluid movement, it was just levels on levels of just different, bro. You can't tell me Deontay Wilder gonna win any parts of that shit, man. Because like
that just goes back to the levels of competition.
Yeah.
But hey, man, we can't pay attention to it. But once again, fuck with motherfucking you young motherfuckers saying that we shouldn't pay attention to, because once again, there has been a bar set. Yep. And we paying attention to that bar. Fuck what y'all talking about.
Yep.
They want us to like yo, here, you take this, shut up, and that's what it's going to be. Type vibes. I'll never be that person. Reaper Gang Radio isn't ever going to be a product of that. Reaper Gang Radio is never going to be a product of, romancing over your favorite fighter. Reaper Gang Radio is going to be a product of that bar that has been set. And y'all motherfuckers should be a product of it too.
Straight up.
And that's just what it is, man.
Exactly.
Deontay Wilder, y'all thought he was a part of the bar for real because of these fucking Fugazi title defenses? Y'all got so ecstatic when that dude beat Luis Ortiz. You want to know why? Because you really thought he couldn't come out of it. Yep. You were really questioning if he could come out of some weak shit like that.
You were scared.
That's true. I thought Ortiz was going to bust his ass.
Yeah, motherfuckers was scared. I thought Ortiz was going to fucking give him his first loss. And then when LeBron, they gave him the extra 10 fucking seconds. Remember the fucking beginning of the 8th? Talking about, hold on, we gotta dry the floor. Get the fuck out of here. He had to regain his fucking consciousness.
That's the coddling that I talk about that is allowed in boxing today that they didn't do before and stuff like that they let niggas get away from. Niggas is getting robbed on their feet. Niggas is getting robbed after 12. Niggas is getting robbed when they get cut. Like, yo, because anybody else, if they'd have had that Tyson Fury cut, I don't care about the hyperactivity at the end. They would have stopped that fight.
Mm-hmm.
Right or wrong, Otto Wallen would have been the victor in that fight. But LeBron says, whose meetup was better? Was Shannon and Deontay's, or Crawford and Spence, or Charlo and Jacobs? Man, that's a pretty good one.
Well, listen. Let me break it down real fast. Okay, we saw Shannon fold Deontay. We saw Spencer's true colors with Crawford. And we saw Charlo fold as soon as Jacob said, "Oh, just what dude, that's right."
That shit was too good.
Yo, he folded Charlo, dog.
Hard.
So that's my take on all three, man. I think all three, the way they're named right now, those are the levels. Those are the levels of how they should be spoken on. Shannon Deontay first, Crawford Spence second, and then Charlo Jacobs second. I'm third. But if you guys notice the Crawford Spence, my whole theory on the reason why Spence don't want to fight Crawford is because he betted him $1 million. They shook hands and they said if they was to meet, they betting $1 million, though. And I think that Errol Spence Jr. knows on top of the purse, you got to give up that $1 million, bro. He's gonna lose. Maybe it's just me, but when you shake hands and you say we betting $1 million, though.
Hey, and if it's on camera, you know, a verbal agreement is legally binding.
Word up. That's just my theory, though.
Man, look, nothing that you just said was wrong. I agree with you 1000%. I believe that, you know what I'm saying, we kind of lay things out the way we lay it out. It's already kind of pretty much set up the way that we kind of could identify and see it as 1, 2, and 3. Because of course I'm already gonna give Shannon Briggs and Deontay that #1 spot because the energy surrounding it, all of the people that was there, you know what I'm saying, he completely took the boy's heart, and it was everything Deontay Wilder needed to hear when nobody in the world was saying it. But that's more that old head shit that people saying that y'all need to avoid, right? And we just need to accept what's going on. And then Shannon Briggs just happened to be right? Okay, great. You know, Terrence Crawford definitely gets the #2 because the way he pushed up on Spence, you could look at Terrence Crawford and you could tell that was real. You could tell that Errol Spence's voice was real squeaky. I mean, we could bet $1 million. We could bet $1 million.
Because he knows he ain't never gonna take that fight.
Yeah, he knew it. He knew it. It was like, you know, he said it out his own mouth, man. He was like, we said we're gonna fight Mikey, maybe Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter. Oh, he didn't say Terrence, right? No, he didn't.
He said 2 Garcias, 1 Porter. Sound like an order menu, dog.
And yeah, and Charlo Jacobs emasculated Charlo. He took his heart right from him. My man Charlo act like, you know, he had fight hype with him, and, you know, he was walking in the back like that, you know, he was running down looking for Danny Jacobs. But it seems like Danny Jacobs was looking for Charlo. Oh!
Just who I wanted to talk to. Bro, he force choked that nigga down the hallway.
What are you doing?
I ain't never say you duck me. I ain't never say you duck me.
Nigga, man, you said it 3 seconds ago.
Charlo just showed us every example of what he is. And I noticed that's probably why you don't really too often see him and Jermell really out like that with each other outside of when they supporting with each other for one of their boxing events. Other than that, they both got their own little cliques. I think that Jermell is well versed in his and doing his own thing, which is smart because Jamal, Mr. Walk out of goddamn, you know, watching Deontay Wilder get his ass whooped. Fuck! Yeah.
Looking like a whole
he's a loose cannon.
He got emotional, got up and left, dog. What the fuck?
He probably lost a fucking grip on him.
He didn't even do an interview. Weird.
My man probably lost a fucking mansion and a Ferrari behind that, dog.
That's what I was saying, man. He lost his whole life savings on that shit.
And my thing is, I'm like, yo, you're not even willing to do an interview with your people? You just gonna walk off? Man, look, fight hype, they so petty, they just gonna take it however they can get it. They see this motherfucker kirking out and shit like that. What do they do? These motherfuckers just like, boy, slip this in real quick. I'm gonna record this low key. Look at this nigga. Just look at him. A damn fool of himself.
With the big ass words on the bottom, fighthype.com.
Hell yeah. It's just like that nigga probably woke up the next morning. Fuck.
They call me, damn it.
Oh, that's too good.
Who is Jamal Charlo gonna fight next? He said he wouldn't fight David Benavidez because he's too young and he needed to take a COVID test. That shit sound like you was going to meet up with a bad bitch that's sophisticated, got her shit together, and she saying, you know, before y'all, you know what I'm saying, intimate, she want to make sure that you get your STD check first. You know what I mean? Like, that's what that's saying. That was the equivalent to that. Ew. What the fuck is wrong with him?
So hold on. He said he's too young and he needs to take a COVID test. Okay, so let's break this down. If he takes a COVID test, it's negative, he passed that. He's in the professional rankings of boxing. My man had a strap. He's fought motherfuckers older than him. What do you where did no. Yeah, this shit is bullshit. Then what the fuck is he talking about? Take a test and you gotta gain age, nigga. So that means that we're right on the part where you niggas are aging fighters out. Boom.
This motherfucker said he too young. Like and the worst part, when you tell a dude he gotta take a COVID test, I'm like,
that's a no shit.
Where's Greta Thunberg when you need her? How dare you?
How dare you?
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, yo, you can't make this shit up, man. You can't make it up. That just shows me you are 1000% pussy.
Patty,
capital pussy.
Man.
Yeah, and he just come up with whatever other excuse he needed to get out of fighting.
He got to get he got to get that bunion cut off before he fight me.
Yeah,
I think
like,
man,
he's left-handed. He can't fight.
Them Charlos got all the abilities in the world to be fucking super fucking next level type, you know what I'm saying? Super Saiyan evolved fucking type fighters, man. But these motherfuckers is just going continuously, you know, stay in them stagnant camps, man. Like they stand like you know that last fight was motherfucking was fucking Jerry rigged. I don't care what nobody say. Look, you got this nigga on the floor going like this and shit like that. The nigga barely even touched him, man. And he was having a lot of success in the fight, bro. He was piecing him up. He was piecing him up, fam. Like so all of a sudden this nigga just has fucking a seizure out of nowhere.
I can see clearly now you're laying down.
Take the check, man. That's basically what that shit was. Man, take this check, man. You either going to take it or we going to take it from you.
Word, man. Yo, it's terrible. Like, we don't see this shit. But
we're paying attention.
Right.
You know, these new cats, they don't give a fuck. They're just going to watch what's given to them and they're going to see what they're told to see.
Good.
My man, Sean P.
Jamal not a lion, more like a hyena. A scavenged other animals kills, not lying, just lying. Hey, that's a fact. Because look, right, you got Jamal Charlo. He is known to grab other individuals up that are psychologically weak, mentally and physically already beaten, coming out of prior fights that might have had previous engagements to where they looked okay, like in Dennis Hogan's situation against, I believe it was it Jaime? Was it Dennis Hogan versus Jaime where he really where he pulled, where everybody thought he pulled that shit out? I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But either way, he got a tendency to pull guys up from lower weight classes. He grabbed fucking Sergey Derevyanchenko after he was in a war with Triple G, and clearly, you know, I felt like he won that fight. So he got the tendency to take advantage of dudes that are already wounded. It's like the one of my favorite movies of all time, Top 5 Dead or Alive, Gladiator.
Yeah.
Like when Joaquin Phoenix fucking comes up and he fucking stabs Russell Crowe in the shoulder and shit, and then puts his arm on him.
Yeah.
Send him up there wounded already. That's the Jamal Charlo we know, man. That is the Jamal Charlo we know. Mr. Pull a motherfucker up when they fucked up.
He with the Wounded Warrior Project.
You want to know what's crazy, right? Steve Cunningham was talking all of this wild cash shit about Tyson Fury, right? And this whole glove shit just sounded hella stupid, right? So I took it upon myself to make this fucking meme, right? Where I took the Wounded Warrior Project sign, right? I think I even got that shit. I can back out and pull that shit up. And I put Tyson Fury face, right? Tyson Fury standing over motherfucking Steve Cunningham while he knocked the fuck out, stretched out on the ground with the Wounded Warrior Project fucking logo right above his and below his motherfucking head and body. That shit is hilarious.
Oh man.
Like yo, I put I put the Sarah McLachlan fucking music behind them and everything, dog. Slow motion, them getting punched in his face. Oh man, it's ugly, man. It's a blistering rebuke. I promise you that. Shout out to Carlos Rosado with the $5 super chat. He says, "Do you think just fighting Bud Pack surpasses Floyd on the ATG list? I personally think he passed him before they fought. What's your thoughts, Champ?" I don't think there's ever a time that, in my opinion, that Manny Pacquiao was going past Floyd on the all-time great list. For me, he can't beat Floyd. And you can take a person and people try to use this excuse, but we got to realize too that Floyd Mayweather was the older individual when he fought Manny Pacquiao, regardless of whatever. My thing is this: when you're still chasing accomplishments, when an other individual is retired and they're already hanging it up, yeah. When you look at all the accolades, yes, Manny does have more, but Manny got 7 losses too. And wins and losses don't mean necessarily thing, but it means something when you've lost to the guy. And it means something when you're still chasing greatness after the fact that he's already gone. And me personally, I can never put Manny above Floyd. I can put his accomplishments and the things that he's accomplished in boxing and say, yeah, those are great feats. He's an all-time great, yes. But for me, I can never say that he's better than Floyd Mayweather. He didn't win there. There's areas to where, Floyd Mayweather dominated, where he looked deficient, and that's just the truth of the matter. Regardless of whether he came back and got it, he's had to go back to a few places and try to reclaim it. That's just my personal opinion. But and if you fight Terrence Bud Crawford right now, for me, cool. But you've already made it a point to say that is not in your plans, that you're going to fight Mikey Garcia. So for me, everything that Manny Pacquiao has ever done in boxing, I greatly appreciate it. He's always going to be an all-time great for me. You know what I'm saying? Manny is one of my favorite fighters of all fucking time. But at the end of the day, it's just like, yeah, man, you're still. Why are we still chasing ghosts here? It shouldn't be Manny Pacquiao's greatness shouldn't be compared to Floyd Mayweather's greatness, period. I think both of them should, they both got their own rank. But if I'm going to go in comparison with the two, I can't say Manny Pacquiao surpasses him because you lost to him.
Man, you know who's greater than both them motherfuckers, kid? Nobody talks about him, man. Motherfucking Wayne Gretzky.
That's my. I knew it.
Yo, is this true or not? Is Wayne Gretzky considered to be one of the why is Wayne Gretzky the pillar of greatness when it comes to hockey? I thought everybody
because he scored the most goals, he was winning Stanley Cups.
Yep, he always reached his goals, kid.
Yeah, he was the most sought after player for a decade.
Yeah, I thought I would always hear this comparison that we'd be like, yo, motherfuckers would be like, yo, Wayne Gretzky ain't this, he ain't that. You know what I'm saying? Like when they compare him, like as like he an all-time great compared to certain other people that like Mario Lemieux, shit like that. I don't know, but hey, that's not my fight.
Nah,
I was just asking a question, considering somebody might know better than me.
And he also, made it a lot more popular, to people that ain't really into hockey like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he like the Tony Hawk of the NHL.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically,
he's very accomplished. Maybe not the most, but he held a whole lot of records for a long time.
My man would shoot your eyes out from across the fucking ice skating rink, son. My man, his shots was crazy, son. Wayne Gretzky, but I know it got nothing to do with boxing. I'm just saying, it's just like Michael Jordan. It's like there are people that are great, and when you look at boxing, you got Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao to add up there with fucking other guys that have held within that transition, because we can't put Manny Pacquiao or Floyd Mayweather with comparisons to the Fabulous Four or before that, but transitioning into that, these are men that you can say Pacquiao and Mayweather were the last of the Mohicans. You know what I mean? Because their fights were like the very last competitive fights and the very bits and pieces of the thread we were going to get with old school, maneuvers and shit like that. After that, it all just became we're going to fucking headbutt each other with poor footwork and we're going to let the refs.
Yeah. That's why I like Lomachenko so much. Yeah,
for me, like
he brought out what boxing was about. Just like, with his style, his footwork, everything else.
I criticize motherfuckers for this shit though, right? Like, cause it's like I gotta love hate for like the cult fucking sensation that is Lomachenko in a sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? I love Lomachenko for his abilities and I appreciate him. But then you got certain niggas that's like, if anybody's seen the Age of Spinning I did with Lomachenko, you already know who I'm talking about. And fuck it, I don't even give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't like no slight, it ain't no slighted to dude or whatever. But you got niggas like Showbiz, the adult, that'll say, you know what I'm saying? I can go on record and say right now that, yeah, Lomachenko's better than Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Ooh.
When you hear
I
shit
ain't
like
gonna
this,
say that.
No, I'm not saying that's what you saying, guys.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
That's where I say where people fuck up the, you know what I'm saying, the level of appreciation I can have for it, because I'm just like, yo, y'all motherfuckers go too far. It's like Loma sensational, amazing to watch, give you everything you want to see, you know what I'm saying, when it come to boxing. It's like, that's the sweet sides. Niggas appreciate it, don't call it boring. But when you start putting niggas up, like, when people say shit like that and they stand on it, he ain't the only one. That's where I be like, yo, slow it down, bro. Slow it down. Give the boy, like, y'all niggas ain't giving that man no type of time or whatever. But I'm just like, yo, to say he better than fucking pretty boy Floyd Mayweather,
I think a lot of it's because he has a style that they like more than Floyd's, and they would like to believe that it's true.
Though, they not going, but Floyd's style was more superior than his at Pretty Boy. Like, people only take into consideration the Money Mayweather era, but they completely disregard when this nigga was dominant before his hands was fucked up, knocking everything out.
When he was
super
Pretty
fast,
Boy,
you couldn't touch him. Like, had Diego Corral was basically breaking down in a corner crying because he couldn't put a fucking fist on him. Like, people forget about that Floyd, and that's when I'm just like, yo, if you want to compare fucking superior boxing abilities, I'm like, yo, that shit Lomachenko was cute compared to that shit. You know what I mean? Because, like, yo, these all-time great fighters, man. Like, I mean, like, I don't think motherfuckers is gonna call Jason Sosa, you know what I'm saying, Mariaga, you know what I mean, or Jorge Linares, and none of them niggas, no names like that. But I mean, look, man, I just say people get ahead of themselves. That's why I just say they just fuck it up for me a little bit. But I appreciate it, dude. I think motherfucking people just go out of their way to just want to rush a certain like title of greatness on a motherfucker before he's actually attained it. Like,
oh yeah, I mean, Teddy Atlas was doing the same thing. He had him at the top of his pound for pound list. This man had like fucking 7 professional fights.
Yo, they erased losses for this dude. They like completely, ESPN just erased the loss. They erased the loss. Then what did they say? They said it was I think at the time they had like 14-0-1. They tried to move it to a draw. They act like this dude has never lost before. See, this the shit that's crazy for me. Like, yo, we don't got to try to laugh. That just shows you there's a push. You know what I'm saying? To try to blow somebody up. Yo.
For sure.
You don't got to do that. You don't have to. It's like, yo, like, you don't have to try to erase nothing, because if anybody watched the Orlando Salido fight, you already know that this motherfucker was 147 plus pounds in there fighting Vasily Lomachenko, and Lomachenko is at a disadvantage, and he was been an amateur for so long. Yeah, so to break that amateur habit, took him several rounds to adjust before he understood it. Like, yo, all right, I got to catch on to this shit fast, quick. Okay, the way the pros do it and the way it's done in the amateurs, yo, you can't look for no help. You just got to get it in. And he's in that bitch fighting the full-on welterweight, man. So we know what's up with that. So I don't even think that it was even necessary for niggas to try to erase that. So that's why it come to a point to where it's like, okay, if you want a certain crowd that's not going to have a certain level of disassociation with who Lomachenko is, then they need to stop doing shit like that.
That's the state of boxing today. They got to dress it up, make it look nice, because they ain't offering anything of substance.
You'd be surprised, man. These motherfuckers. But it's all good, man. Listen, man. Two hands. I gotta slide off, but
Yeah,
party.
man, it's been a nice one.
Hell yeah, man. No doubt, man. Two hands. I'll catch up with you, my brother.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I got shit I got to do myself, man. So yeah, let's just go ahead and wrap this shit up.
No doubt,
All
man.
right.
Peace to Reaper Gang Radio. Always, you know what I'm saying? DT3. I'll see you, bro. What's going on, Troy Graham? All right, man. My
Yeah,
brothers.
man. Hey, appreciate you coming through. Yeah,
For
man,
sure,
Gotti,
for sure.
appreciate you coming through, brother.
Always.
Yeah, man. Yeah, good shit, good shit.
No doubt, man.
Fellas,
Peace.
have a good one. We'll holler at you later.
For sure, for sure. All right, y'all, man. Y'all be easy, man. Yeah, man. It's Reaper Gang Radio, as we always say at the end of this shit. Cost you nothing, pay a nigga no mind. Boxing Jet, I appreciate you coming through. Appreciate everybody for sliding in with us. Yeah, it's been real. Peace.
Salute.